Not all of his
Awesome,
possessions,
thanks.
just his valuable
Do
ones.
we know we did it? Like, do we know we are the ones that
I
did
I
murder?
think
The
you.
coins,
No.
he had black, like, black blisters and everything where the coins had touched him, so we
Yeah,
kinda think we did it.
yeah,
Yep.
I think you guys have just put that together.
I mean, Gretna doesn't know yet, but
Yeah. Well, I think Matt. No, I think Umbra had actually rolled for it and kind of pieced that together.
Yes, I remember vaguely that happening.
Yeah, we're pretty sure, or you guys are pretty sure. The rest of us are unaware.
All right, cool. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to get your board up.
I also like how you said naturally we killed an innocent person.
yeah,
It happens.
we looted him.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Naturally we looted a dead person.
and just to be clear too, the creature that when I was using the description crucified, I really just mean that their arms were out like they were crucified and like their feet were there, but there was no real actual crucifixion or anything. Like there was no board behind them or
Yeah,
anything. Right,
Well,
right,
that
right.
makes it so
Exactly.
much better.
Yeah.
Asserting dominance.
yeah,
Yeah. All right,
yep.
cool. This is the right board. Uh, yep. Okay, awesome. Here, I'm gonna send everybody. Can you guys, do you guys actually automatically get to the right board or no?
I'm on
When you're gonna tell us.
Fortis Island.
Yeah, damn it. Hold on.
Which one should I be in? Hopefully
It,
not Barovia.
no, it's I'll just summon you to it. It's I don't know why it does this here. There you go. That worked, right? Everyone can see it now?
Yeah.
Really?
Chris,
The fuck?
is there a way
Yeah.
to move the camera to where you're like looking more from a top-down perspective, or
In Overworld
Well,
2.
I
we
have
need
so I
Overworld? Oh, is that where we are?
yeah.
Overworld? Oh, okay, hold on. Ding.
Here's the weird thing though. I should be able to summon you regardless. Is this bugged
that?
now?
Yep, I'm in. I'm in.
It should let me fetch everyone no matter what world you're in. And does
I
that
just
not
got
work?
water. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Ah, hold on.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
keep
god, isn't
messing
this pleasant?
I'm
I
there.
think I'm here.
Okay, cool. So, because eventually it should
Oh,
force you to get in here. Yeah.
ah,
So,
excellent.
Erasmus, to answer your question, here, I'll stream. I have a special camera. So I'm not sure, but I think, hold on, let me show you. This is all you can actually, so, right. Right.
And it's the
So
white
Oh, I didn't
bar
know
on the
that.
side.
so here's what I think the normal tail spire is, which is this. This is as far as you go.
It's at like a 45-degree angle, yeah.
Right. So this is actually my camera though. Um without getting into like photo mode. So I don't know. I don't actually know what is the
Let me
difference.
check.
You can do it from above and then use the white thing to get a further view. The white bar on the side.
Yeah, absolutely. This goes up and down here. Yeah. But you guys can't like see like the sun, right? Like you can't see.
No.
No.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
axis.
I think that's developer only. Like this view. Unfortunately, because there's bugs with that. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, shit.
All right. Okay. Um.
Mac,
Weird
one
stuff
guilty
like
guy.
that.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Pyravin's not here, right? Fucking
Nope.
weird. That is some
Mm-mm.
weird shit. Okay. Um. Yeah. I'll handle that afterwards. All right. So
He wasn't here last week either, was he?
No, I knew he wasn't here last week, but what's weird is he messaged me. But anyway, all right. Ah. Oh yeah, thanks, Tyler. If you could hook him up with the webhook, that would be super helpful. All right. Yeah, we're literally going to start right where we left off. So um, you were literally like escaping the house here where the dead merchant was. So it's still you've still got like 4 to 6 hours, Gretna, on your task at
Yeah, you
hand
said
to
it was a
cure.
4-hour thing. I imagine
Yep,
like a half an hour has gone by.
that's right. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and I think we got you everything you needed, the water, the roots, and
Mhm.
all between the
There's
four of
2
us.
plants and local water.
Yeah, because I think Umbra and Pan got you the water, and Max and I got you the roots.
Mhm. Okay.
And if it's okay with you, Sia would probably be hanging out with Gretna for a while at least.
All right. If you want me to describe what I'm doing, but
No,
Mm.
it's more just for the convenience of COs with Gretna.
okay.
Yep.
Now, which house is it? Because I
It's this
didn't.
house here. It's this house here.
It's a really decrepit
Oh, got
one.
it. Okay,
This one
got it.
here.
I want to go into there. Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
it's that house here. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Rassus would have ran to it.
Oh my
After
gosh.
he
Yeah,
got out of
Jack.
after he got out of the murder scene.
Yeah, she's at the
Right.
top. She's literally at the top floor where that bed is. That's
Mhm.
where she's currently staying. It's pretty awful. Like the conditions are obviously terrible, but on top of that, you could see how someone would stay secure anyway, just because the fact that it's slightly damp, it's cold, because the air's rushing in. It's a bad situation for them.
Okay.
After this
So do you guys? So Erasmus and who was actually in there? It was Macmorn and Erasmus.
And
Was there
Umbra.
anyone else? And oh, Umbra, that's right.
I went.
Okay,
I went to
okay.
get
Yeah,
paper.
there you are. Yeah. So you remember there was someone that knocked on the door and everyone stayed inside. And then you waited until they left. Did everyone leave the building at that point?
I did. I begged him to let me out.
Right. Okay. Right. So the body is currently here. If you open up the place, we go inside. The body is currently literally just sitting at if you go to my stream, it's literally here at where that counter is. The body's right here on the ground. Sure. So if you go to my stream, it's right here. Yeah, right here.
Do we want to throw it in the bag of holding? The body.
I'm the only one that ran, and right now I look like a 9-year-old Mexican kid. So
Yep. And remember, the gold is still there too. Although Mackmore did say that he was looting everything. So
yes, he did. And I run back to see it when I tell on them.
Throw him in the bag of holding, just to be safe. He's undetectable there. That would be funny.
yeah,
How
you'll
would
have to
you-
go back. You'll have to go back, or somehow get Gretna over here.
I will retrieve it. I take a step back and I step back into the shadows, turn invisible,
Yep.
and I walk over to Gretna. And then, while still invisible, I'm going to kind of peer over her shoulder while she's doing the ritual and go, Gretna, can I borrow the bag of holding? We're running some
I don't
errands.
answer him.
All right, I'm going
Yep.
to. Pan requested it. I will be returning it shortly. Is that all right?
I still don't answer him.
She's a little busy right now.
Yeah, she's
will-
rather focused, Umbra. Just here. Sia will
Okay.
help him take the bag off of Gretna
He's gonna
in a
help
way
someone
that
else
does
with
not
it.
disrupt her.
I
Her-
wouldn't have. I would have the bag wouldn't be on me at this
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Because I would have taken my helmet off and I would have placed it down, and I wouldn't have like the bag actually on me. My hands are free.
Heard.
When
Gotcha.
I picked
So
up the bag of
Sia won't
holding,
give it to him.
does the bag go invisible when I like sling it over my shoulder?
So that's how invisibility works. Well, as soon as it's like on your person, and meaning that as soon as it's like something secured, it doesn't happen right away, but in a couple seconds, yes, it does. It does become invisible with you, per spell
Okay.
description.
I'll be right back.
This is something to remember if you ever go to steal an item while invisible, though. It doesn't happen right away. Just keep that in mind. It does take time. So.
I also like how we left the fish person with a dead body in a town that would absolutely bring harm to Pan, especially if she was at the scene of a crime.
Yeah.
All right, and I bring the bag of holding back to Pan.
Sure. Yeah, and it does. I mean, you guys don't have to roll anything. You are able to do this. It's a little clumsy at first, but you can take the bag of holding, open it up, coordinate together, and stuff the body inside.
We told no one about this, by the way. This stays between us and the rest of the party.
Yeah. Do me a
I mean-
favor and roll. Just make it. Just both of you make standard int checks.
Wait, did you say insight or intelligence?
Intelligence.
Oh,
Intelligence.
hold on. Let me redo that then. That was That was insight.
That's fine. Yep.
21.
Okay, so Umbra, this is what you're putting together. First and foremost, from the outside of the house, he is by far the most wealthiest merchant. The only other house that's even the only structure that's even close to his is the shipbuilding structure, which should outpace him in monetary wealth, but apparently probably hasn't. So there's that. That means that he's incredibly important to the town because he's probably one of the only like mercantile outlets when it comes to trade and other things, which does mean that you will have a limited amount of time on suspicion on if he's outside of his like point of business. Also, you will also know that because he is probably wealthy, that means he's probably pretty good at his job, which means that he is always open around this time, which probably is prime time going through it. So suspicion will start to enact relatively quickly, within the next hour or two at the very least. And At the very, very most, probably like 5 to 6 hours is when like someone will start to alert the authorities that something's wrong. Um, you also know, given the whole like situation that you're currently in, out of towners, other people that are going to be weird are going to be the first people that are suspected. But your group in particular is going to have a hard time simply because of the fact that you're a bunch of races that just don't. You stick out like a sore thumb. You have Pan. You also in general are way more powerful than average people. So like Seal with her floating book, as an example, would immediately arouse suspicion without having something to hide it. You know all this. You're going to be suspected. And if you're suspected, even though yes, you could probably take the entire town, you couldn't take backup if this town was somehow like tied to the Lord's Alliance in some ways. They'll actually have magical backup, and it'll be enough that it would be a problem. So these are all things that you're like guessing. These are like literally Sherlock Holmes level guesses that I'm giving you as probable information.
We might be in trouble. Look, you know this world better than I do. How bad is something like this here? Because I trust your judgment more than I do my own. We're the worst two people to be
Let me
taking care
ask
of
you
this.
That's like asking Aquaman how a 10K works. Like, fuck, dude.
Should
I have no
I?
experience in this.
Should I? To be fair, we didn't know he was high profile when he died. Yes, but I didn't think about that.
Umbra, with your same intelligence check, to be fair. Well, Umbra, with your same intelligence check, to be fair, you also know that you had no idea that the coins were cursed. You also had
That's
no
also
idea
very
that.
true.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah.
To be honest, that where did you get that gold? We need. Do you know who was there when we got the gold? Wait, hold on. Let's go back to the rest of the group right now. We need to leave right now. Let's go with Mac. Let's rendezvous.
That's what I was about to say. If that is the goal, then you have to tell me how, but you're going to make stealth checks. If you make a stealth check and walk outside the door, you're even as stealthy as you could be if someone's standing outside they see you. So that's why I need to know exactly how you're leaving the building.
I'm invisible with the bag of holding.
Yep. You've got it pretty good. There are. So there's window here. There's also several windows if you look on my stream. So if you look at my stream real quick, there's window here, there's here, here, here on the top side. There's windows below here. Now these, when I say windows though, they are exactly how they are. So what they really are things that do not actually open. They're these little like, so essentially what it is it's pretty sturdy timbers that have been reinforced with like steel buckler, like a steel buckler screw in the middle. So they suck for this specific kind of stuff. Um, but that said, there are windows. They are. They're not big enough for a person to squeeze through. Yes.
I was
Yep.
also gonna. Yes. I also can do that, but I have to recast invisibility if you want. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
the only thing, if there is someone outside, the only thing that will happen, they're not going to see you. They'll just see a door open and close, or open with no one inside. But yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, and so Umber, if you do go through the house, you'll see that. Let's see if Tailspire, um, not it doesn't actually cooperate that well, but yeah, the you will notice that like you could basically get upstairs to where the windows are, but there is no easy way to get to the other structure that's basically tied to this. There's a workroom, but there's no entrance.
I will. How busy is the street outside?
Right. So that's the thing. If you go upstairs to try to look through the windows first to try to gauge this, right now no one seems to be in this general area. However, I'm going to start putting in people so that we see what's really going on here. Um, this is how it actually is though, and I think it's important that you guys see where the people actually are. So here, let's do this. All right. Let's see.
Sure.
Oh, that's weird. I actually don't hear it. I don't hear feedback. Yeah. Oh,
I don't
maybe it's
hear it.
because
Is
my.
that better? Cool.
All right. Where are you at, Maximilian?
Well, the last thing I was doing was helping gather the supplies for the ritual thing.
Got you. So that means if you followed CO, you're back with Gretna, then I assume. So
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, so real quick, tell me what you guys want to do. So Pan, you're gonna polymorph, which is pretty flawless here. You can literally just fly out. And what was your plan, Umbra?
If I see no one in front of the shop right now, I'm going to slowly crack open the door.
Yep.
Keep the closed sign and keep the door closed. Or I'm going to sneak out, close the door very slowly and quietly.
Yep.
And I want to. I don't want to walk through the town invisible. I kind of want to like cut through the woods because I know
Yeah.
the house is on the other side of the town, right up against the edge of the town.
Right.
So I kind of want to cut through the woods, and then that's kind of the route I want to go.
Gotcha. Do you have a miniature right now assigned to you?
I do. I'm inside the shop.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what
Always.
I thought. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, cool.
That's just me.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that works. So you don't have to make a stealth check because there is no one that can see you. So that's a plan for now. You guys can go through. These people are moving back and forth doing their stuff. Like I said, it's not actually that busy today. There's only like maybe 20 people at the most out doing things. If you guys want to make your way back to Gretna, so Gretna, now that you have everything, now that you've gone through, it's been a half hour, another 15 minutes has passed. You now need 3 hours, 15 minutes to finish this up.
Mhm.
Um, but it's going really, really well. The good news is that so far it's a success. So
Oh, good.
One thing
I'm
that
taking the herbs. I blessed the water. I'm
yep,
taking the herbs and I'm preparing them.
yep,
And I have my patient laid in front of me.
yep.
With just a shroud on.
one thing that Max might do once he's gathered those supplies for Gretna
Yep.
He might go and sort of watch from a distance as to what's going on with that sort of sacrifice ritual thing that we saw earlier
Yeah.
in town.
Yep. Yeah, do me a favor. If you want to go walk back to that, and I'll get your miniature for you. Let's do this.
I'll watch from a distance.
Mhm.
And yeah, just sort of see if anything suspicious goes on.
Okay, so this is what's happening right now. You have all these individuals here bidding for fish in the fish market, from this woman that's going through and like selling things, but they're not paying attention to what's going on around. You do have these are just people literally wandering the streets, maybe purchasing something, maybe not. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could safely make your way to here to do like an investigation check or now, if you do start poking your hands into it or everything, you do have to let me know. But if you're just
Yeah.
like looking at it from a distance, you can make the check.
Yeah, okay. So what would that be? Investigation or
Yeah, make an
perception?
make an investigation check. But it depends. Are you going to get close enough that you really want to look at this, or are you just going to look at the components side of it?
I'm just gonna look at the components inside of it.
I'm sorry. Then yeah, make a perception check.
Okay. I'd say dirty 20.
Okay. All right. So you do pick up on the same thing that these are not just animal bones, they're human bones or humanoid bones, and it's not just adults. There's definitely child bones in here as well. None
Hmm.
of them. So if they were, this is the other thing that you realize, if they were killed recently, they were cleaned and cleaned really really well because you don't find any kind of gristle, blood, or any kind of muscle on any of these bones. So they're either old or something has happened to strip that off of them. However, you do also realize that this looks like things that you saw in passing in the abyss. This looks like it could be a demonic ritual.
Okay. Upon realizing this, I
Yep.
will go ahead and see if I can find actually I know where Gretna is, so I'll go back to where Gretna is.
Okay.
And I'll go up to Gretna and say, Gretna, sorry to disturb you. I thought I should just let you know. I had a look at that ritual thing in the center of town, and upon further inspection, I realized it was similar to things I had seen in the abyss, and I think there might be something going on in this town.
Okay. Now you see, I am sitting there like slicing up herbs, and I have again my patient is basically just got a towel over her private parts, and
Hmm.
her hands are laid out and her feet are laid out, straight. And I've got the bucket of water which I have blessed, and my holy symbol is resting inside of it. I can't deal with this right now. Okay? I can deal with it later. I gotcha. I understand what you're saying. I can't do anything right now. If you could hang out and maybe protect me and stop people from talking to me, this would go faster.
I might
Yeah,
Speaking of
sure,
dealing with
sure
things,
thing.
Thank you.
I'm doing okay.
And I guess if anyone else comes back, I'll inform them of the same thing.
hey Gretna,
Been here the whole time, Chief.
Oh, now you know Erasmus.
When Max mentions that, can Theo see if the book yields anything on that since I'm more attuned to it? Also, am I technically there? When did I shunt in and out?
Is Chris muted?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, guys. I'm muted.
Good.
So you are there now, but are you talking about shunting and out from you're talking about like yeah. So once he mentions demonic rituals, you're gonna go through the demonic ritual kind of thing, maybe.
See.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So go ahead and try. Do me a favor. Do an investigation check with advantage through the book
Ooh.
to try to do this one.
Thank God. 15?
Okay. All right. Um. So w- it looks like there are certain things about demonic rituals, but the book doesn't send you to like the exact thing or whatever. You're just gonna have to do some investigation into this. It's possible
Okay.
that if you spent time, you could figure this out. Um, but you need to like you need to have a couple hours with the book if you want to go
Hmm.
ahead and do that route.
Um, about how long you said? A couple hours?
Probably. You don't know, to be honest. It's going to be random I'm doing something so you can start it if you want.
Um, I'll keep that in mind, but in the meantime, um, is it possible to have Kiri go do something for me
Yeah.
in stealth
Yeah.
mode and then I
Yeah.
do that? Okay, this is probably gonna backfire really bad. So when we came into town, we saw the church, and Sebastian had already mentioned, they keep people there, which is weird for a church to do.
Yep. Yep.
Um, there were like on the cliff face, there were some windows, weren't there?
Yeah, so it's on the church.
Yes.
If you look at my stream now,
Mhm.
there are windows in the church, yes.
Okay. Could I get Kiri too stealthy? And I'm gonna explain that to him that especially when we go into towns,
Hmm.
forever, he needs to be in stealth. Like he cannot let
Sure.
anyone see him
Sure.
because that's very dangerous.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll have him go fly over there, and just peer into the back window facing the cliffside so less people would, possibly run into him. And I'll try and look through his eyes as he goes to do that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he's gonna have to fly up pretty high and then like basically, try his best to not like, arouse any attention even with his abilities. So, but that's fine. He can do that. And the idea is to go through, do you want him to go inside the actual?
No, I just want him to look through that back window. I just want him to look. I don't want him to go in. I think that's too
Okay.
dangerous for Kiri at this point.
Okay. No, that's no big deal. Hold on one second. This whole thing is bugged. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Um, so if Carrie does go inside, I mean, sorry, if Carrie goes to that window in the back here, um, this is what he's going to be able to see. Um, come on. Oh, this thing is such a pain in the ass. Sorry, guys, hold on one second. He will be able to see that there's so basically what he's going to see is there is a very mundane decrepit looking church here with pews. It's currently empty. And there's no lights or anything in it. There's also a stone altar here that seems like it's broken. There is some kind of figure on the stone altar itself. Um, but he can't make it out to where it is. It's too hard.
Okay.
That said, it's glowing though. Kira
Oh
can see that
no.
it's glowing.
Does
So
Kiri think it's dangerous?
but he does think it's magic. He doesn't know if it's dangerous. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I want him to go in. He's a very squishy boy. Oh. Um, how much closer would he have to get to see it?
He'd have to go inside the area and kind of like try his best to not be.
E.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell him to
Okay.
back off and just kind of fly around the church, see if there's anything else noteworthy. And then I'll tell him to come back.
The one thing he does see that is noteworthy as he's flying around the church is the obelisk is glowing slightly as well. This obelisk here is glowing slightly. And then
Okay.
that's it. Nothing else.
What's the obelisk made out of?
So well, if you're looking through his eyes, it is white
Mhm.
marble. It's like a white marble obelisk.
Okay. Is Kino? Would Kino and Pan be back with Gretna in them?
Yep. Yeah, they're up there. I mean that was your plan, right? You guys were going back up with Gretna?
Yes.
Yep. So they're there.
Okay.
As soon as I return, I would give the bag back to, or put it back where I found it, and I want to wash my hands of this. I don't agree with this. I want to keep you all safe, but I don't condone this sort of activity.
We should find out if he has any family.
I don't think that. Look, I think we need to finish up whatever we have going on, and then we need to get out as soon as possible.
I feel bad about the situation. And if he's providing for someone and we just took away that, we have a
I think this town was already getting screwed over. It's just not by him.
so let's dump all this gold down a fucking let we need to dump this gold down a well or something. If this is what did it. Look, it was a figure of speech, all right?
Did
Um,
So I have a question. Where did that gold come from that he came
Max
into
picked it
contact
up.
with? But where did it come from before Mac had it?
the tomb, somewhere, one of the first rooms, I think.
Did any of you identify it when you got it?
We couldn't at the time, and we've honestly forgotten about it since. We
Why don't you
actually
do
have
that
not.
now?
That's like the first chance we've ever had to buy anything ever, and it ended up with someone dead. So awesome.
I think we need
Well,
to take a closer look at that.
Well,
well,
Is
unfortunately,
everyone upstairs right now? Is everyone upstairs? Is there anyone else that isn't?
Maximilian, I think, was out and about, unless he came back.
Yeah, Max, did you come
Yeah.
back? I think you said
Yeah,
you came back.
yeah. I came back. I told I came in, told Greta about the what I found out, and then anyone else that came back, I would have informed them of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Max, you can see, this is what you can see. So you can see on my stream outside the rafters, you can almost make out the tops of it over here. And by the way, the merchant's house is this house on this side, so you can kind of make it out. Can Oh, I'm sorry. It's
Crafty one.
Can I?
the worst one, the dilapidated. Yeah, yeah, the dilapidated, awful one. Yeah. Um, but this is
Can
what you
I?
can see from there. So you can kind of do lookouts. The problem is your view is obstructed a bit by like the other house here, but you can kind of make out in because you actually are seeing it through here, so you can see the tops of it.
I was actually gonna ask, would I be able to send out my familiar and just have it kind of uh, hang
Yeah,
out,
sure.
kind of where the big stone, or like kind of the tree past the pumpkin patches, kind of eyeing that doorway in this little clearing in front of the market.
Three past the pumpkin patch. So this tree down here, the
Uh,
tree with the small skeletons on it.
Next to the no, the one behind the farm. This one,
Oh, I see this one here. This one here.
yeah, that would be great.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, to hang out here. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yep.
Before Umbra does
This
that,
is the very
Tio,
first time that you've seen this, by the way. As you guys go to fly out here, you're familiar as it's doing its like reconnaissance. This is the very first time you notice there is another kind of similar pit far off over here. And it's behind what looks like a garden that's a pumpkin patch that's seen much better days. It's not very well kept. but it is out here. It's some kind of animal pit, very similar to the one that's over in the middle of town. But you do see this through your familiar.
I will relay that to everyone that there's another bone pit.
I think we haven't really vocalized what's realistically going to be the consequences of these actions.
I have no idea, but I'm trying to minimize them. Also, sorry, CO, I cut you off before.
No, you're good. Sio was just going to tell you about what she saw at the church, and if your familiar gets a chance to investigate at least the icon in the church, she thinks that'd give us a better idea of what's happening in town. But Erasmus raises a good point. I mean, we want to stay here and we want to help Sebastian and his mother, but I'm not sure what we can truly accomplish given the circumstance here.
And
Yeah.
speaking of Sebastian, you guys do notice that he is not around, but that's not necessarily suspicious because Sebastian does like have other responsibilities, like he has presumably a job and some other things. But he did take you to up to his mom, and then he said he had to run and do stuff. But as you guys are talking, you hear Sebastian like running up the stairs, super excited, and he says, "Guys, you're not gonna believe this. Look, look!" And he hands you. He's like, this is also mystifying to everyone here because obviously, the most important thing that's ever happened to him should be like Gretna, like basically curing his mother. But this is something else. He's incredibly excited about, and he hands you guys, all of you. He shows this to you, and I'm gonna put this in game chat too.
I'm
If
concerned.
What's the gold?
Yeah.
Like
No.
realistically,
deck of cards.
What he was trying to get is realistically, we're at a pissant small town in the middle of nowhere. We're in a small town in the middle of nowhere. We could definitely take their entire contingent of guards.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
But
of course.
do we want to face down the Lord's Alliance? That's the big thing I heard.
Well, that's so that you are the only one smart enough right now that's put 2 and 2 together with that. You can kind of puzzle that out if you want to. That's why I'm making people make intelligence checks now. These are things that you wouldn't necessarily know, but you can like figure out through really smart characters essentially. But anyway, this is
Why are we always getting into one thing? Like we can never just have like a.
Where
This
did
is why we
you
can't have
put it?
nice
Did you put it
things.
in general game chat too?
yeah, it's hold on, I just got DRM'd on this
All
shit.
I've got is little kittens.
It's okay. Hold on 1 second. I am showing you guys something that's ahead of something. So hold on. That
Oh
sucks. Hold on.
no.
No, it's all
Uh-oh.
good. It's
Is
don't
it,
worry.
Chris?
If anyone get in trouble, it's me. So don't worry. But hold on. I did just get a TRM notice. So hold on 1 second. What the fuck? Hold on.
It's more that you're laughing
Chris?
that I'm concerned now because I feel like that's not a good thing for us.
Oh no. It's all good. No, this is
Amanda,
this
stop
is,
the recording.
It's all
no,
good,
it's all
famous
good.
last
It's all
words.
it's all good. That's exactly. I mean, if I can do that, it should be fine, right? But hold on. It is weird that I got this message though. So give me 1 second. Okay, cool. All right, that's cool. Well, yeah, we'll just be vague about that then. But hold on.
I will
So-
also, after 5 minutes, I will kind of circle the town, and my familiar will do like regular owl things and just kind of
In the middle during the
regular owl
day.
thing. Oh, you know. And I will fly around over the church, peek in the window, look at the obelisk, look at the statue, the figure inside the church, and then I'll kind of fly back to the shop.
Cool. So he excitedly hands you this. I'm gonna have to delete this afterwards on the thing. But he says you're never gonna believe this. Look.
Fuck you, Chris. Fuck you.
You.
Yeah, that's the real one, by the way. That's the advanced
What?
real one that you guys will see in September. That I will have to delete. But
Oh, there goes.
Oh, that's
Amazing.
cute.
Oh, wait, I can't see it. I'm in my familiar. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna just flick you in the forehead, so you feel the pain and come back.
anyway, he does say so. What this is what he says. He says, you're never
Okay,
gonna believe this.
I flick him like right in the crotch.
Yeah.
What the hell?
He says I was out doing my morning chores, if you call them that. I get paid a little. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this really weird man with glowing clothes came up to me and said I got a special invitation and to bring it back to everyone so you could see. But the Witchlight Carnival is coming to our town, and he shows you the map. The map has a couple. Number one, it does look exactly like this, but but there are a few things that I can't show you on the actual image itself. It does sparkle, like it's got some weird sheen of glitter all over it, and every now and then, when you pick it up, it actually smells of really sweet fruits, candy, some kind of sweet smell, some kind of almost like dessert creamy smell. Obviously some kind of magic or something, but it's very neat. The whole thing is very neat. On the back, when you turn it over, it's just all gold filament, like it's really shiny, like almost like a golden paper. But it does say "Welcome to the Witchlight Carnival," um, and it if you look at the whole thing, it is the exact map. So.
Now, I'm not regarded as a smart person, but I feel like this is something we should be wary of.
I'm
S-
I'm so
A,
excited.
a glowing man with a almost too good to be true present for all of us
Well,
And
not for all of us,
seems a
for
bit
him.
odd.
You don't like presents?
Well,
Sebastian,
didn't Sebastian say uh, that the man told him to bring all of us?
Well, he said to go bring it to your friends, and he winked. But that's all.
No.
That's all he said. Sebastian doesn't actually know if he knew of you guys at all or any of
Okay.
that. But
Yeah.
it could have. I mean, it's suspicious.
it's
I
disconcerting.
misinterpreted what you said. But I'll still stick by what I said.
Yep.
Just seems a bit odd to me.
Uh,
Now
Chris,
he does see what's going on, and he goes to ask Gretna, like, is my mom gonna be okay? Is like what's going on right now? Obviously bugging Gretna.
I push him back and just say, Gretna needs peace and quiet to finish healing your mother.
Yeah, and he does respect you. He says, "Okay, sir, I understand."
Sio is going to ask Erastus to gently explain to Sebastian that strange magical people coming to you and offering you deals that are too good to be true is not good.
Yeah.
And she's gonna ask Erastus, and she's gonna tell him too that since he's closer in age to Sebastian, she thinks it would be better for someone his age to explain that to him rather
He's
than
like,
someone
yeah.
like Theo.
You say this out loud though, right?
I would say it more quietly to Erastus.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Yep.
So he kind of like gets the gist. It's like give him
He
fair
loves
warning.
this is like the coolest thing he's ever owned, by the way. You can tell. He's flipping it like up and down. It's very clear that he's never held anything like this at all. This is probably one of the finest things he's ever held as well. So this is, this is something that he's very happy to have in his possession. He hasn't even gone to the fair or anything. Just the map alone is like an amazing thing to this kid. So
Chris, I have an important question. Do we still have the Red Wizard's face tattoos
the Red Wizard's face tattoos.
Yeah,
from
that's a
the
good
Doom
point.
Vault?
Yeah, the ones that distinguished us as cursed by their lich. So no
Oh
one
no
would
no! As soon as you teleport it out, they have a limit on them. I'm sorry. So
Okay,
I should have I should have told you all that. So there's a behind the scenes bookkeeping. As soon as you guys left, you do not. You do not have
okay,
any of
well,
those. Yeah, they actually do have a range on them. So no, no,
Also,
you don't. Yeah.
did I see anything inside the church if I look at the obelisk and the statue inside the figure?
Right. So when you go ahead, when you go through and start looking, the only thing that's noteworthy of this little figure is that it looks like it's some kind of. Let me bring it back so you can see it. So it looks like it looks like it's almost made to be some kind of like ornamentation or something. It's not something that looks like it's an actual like person or animal. It does have like a sharp point, but it is obviously meant to be some kind of like, I don't know, like adornment or something. But you have no idea what this thing is. It almost looks like it's maybe kind of like a spear of some kind or something, but it's definitely a figurine. It's definitely it's not like a touch of the thing. It's definitely some kind of figurine.
Does it look like it's like a religious symbol or
It looks like
any
it could be a religious symbol. It looks like it could be a religious symbol. It does not look like it is like you heard the drowned god. You know that there's a goddess named Umberly, this goddess of the sea. It doesn't necessarily look like it could be attributed to Umberly, but that doesn't mean that it's not necessarily either. Make a religion check since you're looking through her eyes to see if you can find out what exactly this thing is.
11?
Yeah, I mean it's nothing obvious. This is some kind of obscure religious artifact.
All right. I will head back, and I will also keep a vantage point on the ships that are coming back from the island we slept on.
Okay. So yeah, so that's the thing. They're still out there looking for you. So when you go through and start looking, there's at least 14 to 15 soldiers, all scouring the island. 3 boats. Looks like they're doing 5 soldiers apiece on the boats. They're still looking for you guys. They have not given up.
Yeah, I'm going to keep eyes on the front door of the market, and if I see any of the soldiers kind of regrouping at the boats and heading back, I want to let everyone know as soon as possible.
Yeah, the good news is that's the other thing. The good news is you think that most of the military or most of the police force is probably out on that island right now. So that's the good news. You guys might have bought some time because of that, but
We should remotely detonate those ships and keep them out there, strand them on the island. We need a dragon turtle. That's what we need. Oops.
Max would probably
Yeah. Oops.
say this, and he would see you tapping into your familiar sense, and he'd go to the others. What is your friend doing?
He is looking through like fucking gecko or some shit. I don't know what he does.
yeah, and Sebastian starts bugging all of you guys. He's like, do you see this? They have snail racing. The snails are as big as me. They have a pixie kingdom. What's a bubble pop teapot? Like he's going through the map with all of you.
Yeah. Sio would sit with him and kind of try to not entertain him, but she would listen to him more, knowing that Gretna needs to focus. So
Yeah.
Sio would take him to the corner of the room and, remind him to kind of keep it quiet, but she'll entertain him in the sense that she'll watch the map and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And he goes to see it. He's like he basically points to the map to see it. He says, "Look, you can become a king of the Witchlight Fair. Look at this." And he shows you. It does say on the corner, "Will you be our Witchlight monarch?" And it does kind of insinuate that you can be king of the fair. And then he's like he looks and points to the gondola swans. He's like showing you the feasting orchard.
Can I
Yeah.
make a check to identify some of the creatures? Like I, as a player, know that's an Almirage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
yeah. Would any of us have heard of this carnival, or is this like totally new to everyone?
You should go ahead. It is obscure because it only comes around once every 8 years, but go ahead and try. Yeah.
20.
So 20 investigation check.
My passive is 25 though.
Yeah. Which creature are you
The Almirage.
yeah. So hold on.
Because like I, as a player, know that that is a creature that only exists in the Feywild and sometimes comes out here, which would then make me probably think, oh, it's a Feywild carnival.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the
Seal
other
got
thing, the other thing is you actually, if you do a full investigation check on the whole thing as well, it does actually say, um, uh, so there's a couple different things that you get. Yes, number one, absolutely. You do see that there's actually not just that, but the snails themselves, but also like some of the other like for instance the kerosene, like the Karak dragonflies and all of the larger dragonflies. Those are all Feywild creatures. But the other thing that's interesting that you see is that first and foremost, it does look like you get some kind of gift. There's these welcome gift things that's coming through that you pick this up on the actual map. The other thing that's interesting is that um, it does actually. There are some other things that point to. Let me just make sure that I'm not giving you guys bad information. Hold on. Yeah, so a couple things. There's not just that. You also it does look like this Witchlight Carnival only comes out at night. You see that there's something called a Night Filled with Wonder on the top side, but you put that together because the actual thing is like pointing to the little tree right there on the top right hand corner is actually pointing to the fair itself. You notice there's a bunch of cloud cover and other things. You think that it's reasonable that this probably is like a magical fair that does only truly come out at night. The other thing that you notice on this thing with your 21 is that if it truly is, for instance, an actual Pixie Kingdom, those could only come from the Feywild, unless it's like bullshit, unless it's like a trick or something. The only other things of note that you're going through and looking at is the fact that there is what looks like some kind of like mermaid cove on the Gondolin swans there. If there's real mermaids and stuff, that would also be Feywild. So it doesn't mean that this takes you into the Feywild, by the way. It just means that whoever created this with magic or illusion magic is copying things that they've heard about in the Feywild itself. For instance, a great example of this is the fairy rings right by the carnival or the carousel. The fairy rings, which are the stone circles there. So it could just be, it doesn't necessarily mean this is the Feywild. That said, someone who created this thing did know quite a bit about the Feywild.
I don't like this map. I don't like the look
Yeah.
of it. It's too much.
Yeah. Seal got a 19 on history. Would she know anything additional to what Erasmus would know?
Well, so I mean, Sia, the one thing that you would point out of the obvious as well is it actually does say right on the map, and everyone will get this eventually. It does say the fun of the Feywild for all the family. So whatever this is, whether it's a con, whether it's real, whether it's also something like dubious or whatever, they're advertising that they are from the Feywild and coming to this. The only thing that gives it kind of credence is the fact that some of the things match up. Some of the art is matching up to things that you've heard about within the Feywild. But other than that, you don't know anything else that Erasmus knows, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Seal will keep that to herself and she'll just keep it in the back of her mind. She understands where Sebastian is with his life. Like it's kind of shitty, and this is one thing that he can like genuinely look forward to. And now that his mom's getting better, like he could go with her to that. So she's not going to rain on his parade. Um,
You start
but
to
it,
strangely crave sweets too, by the way. Yeah, better. It's just you and him so far, but it's something to do with the smell of this map. You start to strangely like want candy and other things. It's like if you go into and smell like fresh baked cookies, or you smell like sweet vanilla or something that it's the same kind of feel. It's not necessarily magical compulsion, but you are like you want like to eat stuff now.
I want those Cinnaballs that Erasmus got us in session 1.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Well, let's just sit tight and
It looks like you need an invitation anyway, though. So, I mean, that's what the map is telling you. It says entry without a ticket is strictly prohibited. It looks like there is some kind of invitation system here. So, the good
Okay.
news is, even if you wanted to come, it's not like it doesn't seem like from whatever's on this map that it's like, it's getting ripped into reality or something. You would have to kind of seek it out.
Okay.
we've already kind of shot. Even if we wanted to go, apparently we have everyone and their mother looking for us. No offense, Sebastian. Um, so I don't know. I mean, we could try to ramp up the stuff here, and maybe pop in for an exciting snail race. I don't know. It's and I don't know, and I just think we should try to do good, and we just do a lot of bad everywhere we go. It's not accident. It's not on purpose. I hope. Um, even it's accidental, but we just bring bad things where we go. So maybe we should just get on out of here. I don't know.
And if you guys want to, we can. It's up to the group. I mean, there are certainly things to do within this time frame, but if you're not going to do anything else, we can fast forward to Gretna finishing her ritual.
Okay.
Um, I guess just while Gretna's finishing, Max will head outside and sort of he's gonna try get some alone time and just see if he can find a peaceful place to just sit and admire the sky and such. Just for the next few hours until Greta's done.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Tia will put both Max's name and Pan's name into her book so she can message them. Um, but in the meantime, Tia will sit tight with Gretna. She has probably already tapped out the time on her disguised self anyway. But the only thing she would want to do is talk to Sebastian a little bit more to try and get an understanding of the town and do that research for however long it takes to try and find any more info on the ritual sites.
Sure. So Sebastian will give you a quick rundown on the fact that the town itself, this is like everything that you're seeing as far as many people that are out and about in the town shopping, everything is completely normal. Um, he does tell you that he is surprised that he's surprised that Grist or whoever's out there, and presumably it's him, is taking so much effort in finding who was out on the island. He tells you that it's going to be hard for him to go back. As a matter of fact, he thinks that now it's probably like going to be off limits to him. So he's a little worried about that because he was using that as like his own private like kind of play area, solace area where he could think and stuff. Um, he does have a ton of like he does want to bother you and have a ton of questions about your book and like what you guys have done, and he wants to talk about like everything you've done on your adventures, obviously. So you'll have to decide on what you want to tell him.
Yeah. Um, Sia will give him a trade because she has two specific questions about the area.
Yep.
And then she will give him a very PG rundown of what we've done, omitting
Sure.
deaths
Sure.
and her patron.
What was the questions? Yep.
She wanted to ask him, well, Sebastian. Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, she would omit names, she'd omit her patron, and she would omit death. But
Yeah. Yep.
she wants to ask, Sebastian, you had mentioned when we came into town that things are odd in part because they keep people in the church or near the church. People are kept here, right?
Well, what ends up happening, he says, is that sometimes when people question why we're not allowed to like, worship like things properly, or when they don't agree with Grist, or just in general, if he gets really upset at someone, yeah, they'll go into the church and do reconciliation, whatever that means, something about like having to pray and work, and they just literally don't come back. And I'm the only one. I am the only one that says things. And it's like everyone else is like, oh, it's normal. Don't worry. Just trust Grist. He's doing great for us. He's like helping the town out. It's all because people think that like now there's money coming in because people are trading with us. But that's nonsense. Look what that's done with me and my mom. Has that helped us? Look how poor we are. It's not like everybody in the town is rich.
Right. Well, who exactly is taken to the church? People from the town, or are people brought to the
Sometimes, mostly it's people from the town, but sometimes it's people from outside the town too. Like it just depends. Like I mean, like honestly, I've been threatened to go through reconciliation.
Do you happen to recall who recently was taken in to reconciliation? Anyone not from the town?
Uh, yeah, and he does think back, and he tells you that the last people that he remembers that were taken to reconciliation were people that came in drunk off a ship where they had been giving some townspeople problems. They did get into a bar fight, and then out on the street, they ended up threatening one of like the merchant's daughters. And then you put two and two together and realize that must be the merchant that you guys had dealt with, his daughter. And then he and so they were basically thrown into the church for reconciliation,
Okay.
and he never saw them again.
But none of them looked like a red tiefling.
He told you no. He doesn't
Okay.
think so, at least.
Seal will breathe a heavy sigh of relief, and for time's sake, she's gonna try and rail the conversation towards anything he knows about Nith, and she'll very vaguely explain that her brother's in Nith, but she's very concerned that he's in trouble there, and if he knows anything about what kind of trouble, she'd appreciate him telling her, and
Yep.
then she'll regale him with the PG story.
The only thing he knows about Nith is that there's a river that runs through Nith, because that's what he's been told, and that no one from Nith that he remembers has come by the town in a while, which is weird because Nith used to trade with them all the time. They used to bring rum and other things, but they haven't done that in a couple months. That's all he knows, though.
Okay. Okay. Sio will sit with that, and then she'll entertain him for a while. And again, she's not going to mention any chaos gods. She's not going to mention her patron. She's not going to mention death, but she will give him a very vague gist of their adventures and will try and give him the moral of the story to not always trust very powerful magical people because sometimes their offers are much too good to be true.
Yep. Okay. All right. Does anyone else want to do anything while we get to the end of Gretna's ritual outside of that?
I'm still watching through my familiar.
Yep. So far, no one's come back. You guys are in good shape right now. It looks like whatever law enforcement is going to deal with this, once there's suspicion, and there hasn't been any suspicion yet, it's probably going to come from that island. So you don't see any police or anything like that. You don't see any local sheriff, law enforcement, or anything doing patrols or walking through. You have noticed there have been a couple people that have gone up to the shop, though, and like angrily walked away because it's closed. They've knocked.
Okay.
Like it looks like they were really intent on buying something here. They knocked, they waited, they knocked, they went around, they knocked, and then they left.
Okay. I'll let the group know that that's happening. Has anyone like looked through the window? Has anyone gone through another door?
No, no one's gone through another door. People have tried to look through the window, yeah. They've even yelled in through the window, like, "Come on, like, what's going on? Like, come on, open up. I need to do business here." But they've all walked away.
All right, I'll let everyone know that.
Yep.
Also, as I'm saying that, I'll also remind Erastus that we wanted to identify the gold.
Yeah, I'm on it. And he'll spend 15 minutes ritually casting Identify.
Okay. The only thing that you get out of the identify on the gold pieces themselves is that each gold piece does have a tiny core that emits magic, but it is not a magic item, and that magic has no presumable use other than maybe tracking. The only thing you get from the identify is that there is a tracking component to the gold. But any other effect that's happening must not have something to do with magic items. It must be the other kind of thing that can happen when you identify things and you don't get a description.
Curse. It's cursed. It's cursed gold. because there's nothing on it that would do that. This gold is being tracked, by the way. Which that shouldn't be a surprise.
Here's the other worst part. Removing the curse can be done, but it has to be on each individual gold piece.
All right, so
Only
this is,
one object.
we got 50,000.
Melt it down into a gold bar.
You can't. We'd have to dispel the magic on each one to be able to melt it.
Worse, Erastus, you know this as an artificer. If it's got a magic core, you might not even be able. Like it. You have to try and see what happens. Yeah.
It's probably not worth the trouble. It's a lot of money, but I mean, we don't ever get to have nice things, so this shouldn't be a surprise. We after that we are essentially fucking broke, right?
Well, I mean,
We did all that and did not get a single goddamn penny for it.
we basically have an unbreakable $100 bill now.
Well, I have a bunch of sapphires, but again, no one can afford them, and we have no gold and nowhere to go, and every time we go somewhere, bad shit happens.
Technically, Matt did take that gold. He took
from a meta perspective and out of character, since there are people in other games too. Just wait until you really see what's going on with all of this, because Group A has spent gold, quite a bit of it. But anyway,
fuck! Oh no!
yeah. And that all came from the tomb, so or most of it. Yeah.
We could. I think we should just get rid of it. I mean, it just sucks. This just sucks. We went through all that and we didn't really get anything besides our lives out of it, which isn't nothing, but if you set a standard of success at am I alive after it or not, it's a pretty easy target to hit.
I mean, Erastus, we are a lot stronger now than we were then. And to be honest with you, I don't think. I mean, you're a smart boy. You would have gradually throughout time learned how to become an artificer, how to do everything that you have done. But I mean, if you think about it, one of the silver linings is that we're much stronger having gone through that than we were before. I don't think I would be capable of what I am now. I don't think I ever fathomed it.
Maybe, but strength isn't as important with what you do with it, and I don't know. We just seem to one way or another just not really do anything good with it. So we just look out for ourselves, which again we haven't had much of a choice, but insofar there's not really been any return on all the time, other than like I said, being alive. So
I mean, that is one thing to be grateful for. I know it doesn't amount to much, but I mean, we're able to sit here and complain about it. And we'll find our way here. I mean, like you said, we had no choice. We had to be selfish. We had to look out for ourselves. But even then, we looked out for Henri and Kino and everyone else, and even our new friends in Azrael and Fintrix. We looked out for them. We did what good we could.
Sure.
All right. So, Umbra, you do notice at this point that there's been a crowd that's now gathered. 3 people are now at the door, actively trying to figure out what the hell is going on here.
How much
All right.
time has passed at that point?
So far we haven't. You're not finished yet. You've got like an hour or so. Do you guys
Well,
want to?
I know, but when the crowd starts to form, how much time has passed?
Oh, gotcha. You've only got like an hour to 45 minutes left. So
Okay.
at that point, 2 hours. So when the crowd starts to form, you've only got like an hour, maybe 45 minutes left of this ritual.
Mhm.
So, but a crowd has started to form outside. They're
That's
starting
all I
to
know.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
Tio will cast disguise self again and will disguise herself as a different young human looking girl around the age of 16.
Okay.
And she'll advise Erastus to do the same, but to not disguise himself as the same person. as he did before. So no Chancho.
I
Pan,
uh,
I forget. You had disguised self on originally, right? You were not walking around as a fish person. That's what I thought. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right.
She is also split up from the party right now.
No, I know you're in the ocean now. That's what I thought. I was treating it as you only had the cloak, but I just wanted to make sure. So yeah. Yeah,
Did you go into
Right.
the ocean with my cloak on?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Okay. Yeah, you'll see when you get back. You'll be like, here you go.
Drifting
Dropping
wet
wet.
sounds.
That is true. That is true.
That's true.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan
So
will turn into like a chubby blonde kid.
yeah. So this is going to take them some time. So essentially, this is what's happened now. They're all talking. They all think it's weird. They're all trying to go through this. One of them has gotten impatient and tried to like actually like get into the door. It's not going to work. This thing is heavily fortified to make sure that people can't just like steal from him or walk in. So this is going to take time, but it's going through it. Do you guys want to fast forward to Gretna finishing, or do you want to do
Uh,
something?
Sure.
I'm fine with that.
Unless they break through the door, I will.
Okay. Yeah, so they can't for now. So, and they're all through it. So, Gretna, you finally finished this. Gretna's like pouring with sweat, by the way, and so this was a hard thing, but she finally finishes. And as she does, go ahead.
That's okay. I finish. Sort of like the spell of mist and smoke finally clears. Ah, okay. This is done.
Yeah, and
Put my
immediately once you finish, by the way, life kind of breathes back into her. She immediately not only feels better, but on top of that, like her skin like tone comes back. She can finally like stand. She goes through it. She's basically like crying and like hugging you, Gretna, and
Hey,
so
put some
she
clothes on. Stop, stop,
yeah,
stop.
she can't believe it. Yeah, she is completely naked. She does take like she does like gather herself and go through it. But this is the first time that she's been able to really like breathe deeply for a long time. And on top of that, and what you guys see is she's in her late 40s, which is quite old in standard favor and medieval thing. Like the life expectancy for commoners is not really that long. So she's kind of nearing the end, although some people do live to 60 and 70. That said, she looks much better than when you guys saw her originally. Sebastian comes running in, like they're both crying, going through it. But Gretna, I mean, you have done something amazing for this woman. Like she was absolutely not only on death's door, but she couldn't even work. Now they actually have a chance to like do things like eat well, fix their house. She can actually probably work again. So these are all things that are going to make a huge difference in their lives.
I'm satisfied, but still oh god,
Yeah.
I'm sweaty. I'm kind of icky. I
Yeah.
gotta clean this stuff up because if they see this stuff, they're gonna know that there was a ritual here.
Yeah.
So,
Sue will prestidigitate Gretna clean and will
oh,
help
thank
clean
you.
other things.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Hey, and while I'm cleaning up, I go, okay, everybody. When someone is casting a ritual, you don't bother them, okay?
I know.
Unless you really have to.
I know.
I'm in my familiar. I can't hear you.
No. Okay, where's Max? Where is he? Okay, fine.
I'm
Okay, so
at
that's
the
just like a
back.
new kind of like guideline, Just advice.
Also, Pan's in the ocean.
Yeah. Do I need to message them? Are we going to leave? Because if Umbra's right and suspicion is rousing, we may need to leave before the
Yeah.
guards return.
There's now 6 or 7 people
What's
going
suspicion? What are you
through. By the
talking
way,
about?
there's 6 or 7 people that are now like basically trying to commission one of the boats to go out to the island to go get the law enforcement. You guys have safely 30 to 45 minutes left in the town before basically the local law comes back and starts to investigate what's going on here. So
Gretna, the short end, those town guards, 15 of them, out at the island looking for us very intently.
Oh,
Um,
right, okay.
Mac accidentally killed the shopkeeper. The gold we took from the tomb is probably cursed. And she would be saying this slowly to Gretna so as to not sour the moment between Sebastian and his mom.
Sebastian looks terrified, by the way. He is like he can't even believe you just said that, but yeah.
He hurt me.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
oh. Uh oh. Well,
Hey,
I
save a
leave
life.
you guys. I
save a life.
leave you guys unwatched for 4 hours, and what
well,
do you do?
Look,
Let me
I
wait.
didn't do it.
Wait.
I didn't do it.
it was Mac.
Mac
I mean,
went
Eh,
at it.
by the way, he's not blaming anyone. You literally just saved his mother's life, so it's not like he's going to turn you in or anything, but he is very terrified at this point.
It
That's
He
hurt
doesn't even
me.
know really, like he doesn't know how any of this works, so he starts looking around, making sure he's not touching anything of yours or like the whole groups. Like he's now like kind of stepped back a little bit.
But
But
Mac
yeah.
didn't mean to do it. Or
no,
did he mean to
was-
do it?
I doubt it. None of us knew.
Okay.
Anyway, they are looking for this person now, and we have maybe 45 minutes before suspicion is roused, and I think this is an apt time to go.
How?
Well, we're on the edge of the town, aren't we? We could just sneak out back, and I mean, it'll be a hike, but I think it would be easiest for us to just leave. As much as we want to do more, I don't know if we can given the constraints.
Yeah, and by the way, you guys do see this. I didn't build the entire structure, obviously, but back here is not water. You absolutely there is land mass back here. So it's
Oh,
not like
okay.
you're yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's confusing. And I'll show you once you guys start to travel on the actual we can do Owlbear Rodeo, but you'll be able to see where to go from that point.
Sure. Let's go. We did good here. They look happy. Let's go.
Yes. Thank you, Sebastian. It was a pleasure meeting you.
He says, like he's looking around, he says, No, no, of course. Thanks again for everything you guys have done though. Like seriously, like thanks for what you did for my mom.
Don't
That's
mention
okay.
it. Please do not mention it. You never saw us.
He said, No,
Truly.
no, I promise I won't. He seems sincere. You can insight check him, but at first glance he seems sincere.
I believe him.
Yeah. Seal will just pat him on the shoulder as she helps clear up any indication that a ritual was cast here, and uh, don't mention it. You and your mom, it's enough to see you two happy. I'm glad we were able to do some good, and we'll do our best to see if we can circle back here, deal with Grist. But remember what Gretna had said. You both go about your business normally. Your mom can't just walk out of the house. Well, just tread carefully, and we'll try and keep in touch.
He
Oh,
does
also,
say he did overhear you say Nith. He remembers you talking on it. He said, just so you know, he said Nith is like 30 miles through the ocean the other side. He said if you do need to get past there, kind of the best thing might be to like sneak out and like get on one of these merchant ships because they'll definitely be going to New Sharshell. And if they do go to New Sharshell, maybe they'll go to like Ithdil. And if they go to Ithdil, you can definitely get there from Nith.
Is there another way we could get there besides the boats here in town? I'm worried we would rouse too much suspicion.
He said, well, he said the problem is it's across the ocean and it's like a good 30 miles.
Well, can we
Um,
walk to another town?
he
And
said,
get
well, he said, I mean, I've never been there, but I've heard Kilbast is close.
Let's do it.
There's also something called like Thelnem, but I don't really know anything about it. It's also supposedly close. I've never seen it.
so we could go to Kilbast and then to that other town and then Nith.
He said, yeah, presumably.
Okay. Well, that's as good an idea as any. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And Seal will give him a very quick hug, and she'll just smile at his mom. And she'll be ready to kind of head out. And Seal also looks a little sad about this. Like she's really happy, but it's kind of one of those bittersweet things.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, like I said, I mean, he actually, before you guys leave, he's also going to say that you guys have like changed his life. He also says that he could never have imagined, like, first he got this thing, and then he met you guys, and he points to the map, and he's like, this has been literally the best couple days of my entire life. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sebastian, you gotta keep your mouth shut, or else you're gonna go into that place and never come out. Just let you know.
And if you have the means to, maybe you don't want to stay in this town. This town sounds like it has dark secrets.
Quick question: how old is
Yeah.
Sebastian?
He's like 17, but the problem is that he's very naive and very young
Yep.
for even
So
17. Yeah.
I thought he'd be around that age.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was younger. CEO is absolutely 16.
No, I mean, the funny thing is so he's, if you ask him, he's 17, but he doesn't necessarily act like a 17-year-old that's been grizzled through it. He does seem naive and childlike, but physically he looks around 17, and he also will tell you he's 17.
Okay.
Max will, as we're heading off, he won't say much. He'll just sort of pat Sebastian on the back and just tell him to look after his mother and stay out of trouble.
That I will, I promise.
Let's go.
Yeah. Sia will message Pan and we'll tell her that we're headed behind the house. So
Yep.
I guess swim maybe 50 yards along the coastline, get out and kind of just walk in a straight line in the
Yeah, of
woods.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, so if you guys want to, once you get out, there actually is a main road that you'll find less than a mile from Arns Cove on the back end side. As a matter of fact, if everyone pulls up Elbow Rodeo, I'll show you exactly where you are. So you guys are literally here.
I need to
Oh
have
yeah,
that Alpha Radio.
yeah. Let me give you the link. I can give
No,
you
It's
the link.
I can just
static.
go into our DMs.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's also pinned in the group 2 chat if you need it.
Okay, never mind. Thank you.
So, in the bigger scheme of things, it's up here in the Sea of Falling Stars by the Forest of Lether, but this is actually where Arns Cove is, right here. And so, let me know when everybody can see this.
Yeah.
I'm just
So,
finishing
Kelbest, sure enough,
loading.
he had a good guess here because Kelbest is actually the closest. Thelnem is a little farther away. It's around 10 miles or so, and Kelbast is a little less than 5. Now, what these dotted lines mean is that these are not main roads. These are roads that people have made through travel. So it's not a protected road, meaning that it's not something that the Lord's Alliance is keeping up. There's taxes aren't like going to making these roads nice, but there's definitely a safe-ish passway where other people have walked it before and everything. So instead of like having essentially cobblestones and stuff, it is literally just a worn out, like almost sandy road where people have literally worn it through by just walking for hundreds of years or whatever. So that's what those dotted lines mean. So the good news is that it's a relatively straight. It's like it's going to be hard to not find it. You won't have to make your like survival checks or nature checks or anything. There is a road leading right to Kelbast, or you can go to Thelnum. Also, so you know, this will be the very first time, Maximilian, that you're really able to take advantage of this as well. Well, maybe not the very first time, but once you open your book, this actual map is a representation of your actual like leveling book. So the very first page actually does have this map, which is priceless. Most people that, for instance, even like Lord Neverwinter, or Neverember, I should say. He wouldn't even have something like this, and he would have paid a lot of money to get something close to this. So this is not necessarily something that like everyone has access to.
Hmm. Uh, any ideas on where we should head to?
I think we should head south because I feel like we'd be doubling back to.
You would be.
like,
That's exactly right. So now that you can see it, if you go to Kelbast, you're gonna have to get a ship through that strait. But Thelnem is actually in the same like way. That is correct.
Yeah. And it would probably be best too to put more distance between us and Orange Cove. I don't know if they're gonna go, to the next towns over and try and investigate this sort of thing, but I mean Thelnum, as good as any.
Yes, I think we should do that.
All right. Well,
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
that's only
Yeah.
yeah. So if you guys do decide to go that route, it's only gonna take you it's 10 miles. So this is only gonna take you roughly 2-3 hours, assuming, and that's only because this isn't like a really good road as well. So it's a little harder to travel through this. Some of it is still gonna be difficult terrain, but it's only gonna be a 2-3 hour journey to Thelnum. If you are walking swiftly. And what that means is that if you decide that you're going to like this is not going to tire you out or whatever, but this is not a leisurely stroll. You like are trying to get there as quick as possible by walking.
All right. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Let's see if this works, guys. Does it take you to can you guys see anything right now? Differently?
It says
Intel
waiting on
Spire?
GM.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see a spooky church thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can see
Whatever this
then
is.
you can see like a new board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay.
No.
I just see waiting on GM with.
Yeah, I see.
Oh.
I was looking at your stream where I can see it.
Oh,
but
gotcha,
obviously
gotcha,
I
gotcha.
can't
Yeah,
see it
let
on my
me
screen.
gotcha. Let me get it for you guys. Hold on.
I still see Orange Cove.
Yep. Yeah, just let me go through it. So you do not. So this is a side thing that happened. You do not actually have to take this, but as you get into Arns Cove, I'm just gonna show you what you actually see. There is a ruin that you guys are able to see that's just a little bit off from the town itself, and I'll show you where it's at.
Is this
You can.
Thelnum or you said?
This is going towards Thelnum. This is not Thelnum. You do not have to take this, by the way. Anything I have in Telspire, you can ignore. Just because I built something, I have thousands of these, so don't worry. But this is you literally find it here. This is right off the path, and it's this structure here. And let me summon everyone just in case you take it. So hold on. All right. So the reason why it's noteworthy is because after the tree line, so this is what ends up happening. After you guys kind of see this right from the tree line, there's no water. That's just the default there. Basically what happens is you're able to see like a structure that goes through it, and then sure enough, as you like start to investigate and go through it, there was an old road that led up to this that's been overgrown. It looks like with trees and other things. You do see that there's an abandoned wagon. The donkey is still there. The donkey, though, has seen better days. It's starving. Looks like it's been completely like malnourished. There does look like maybe a chest or something with potentially items inside of it. But this is up to you guys. If you guys want to keep going, you can and ignore this completely. Or if you want to investigate it, you can do that too. What does a group want to do?
Do we want to take a
You're
look?
like, if you go through it, you're able to see it does look exactly like it is. And if you want to go through the map, because I don't have any of the miniatures placed, you certainly can if you want to. And take a look, and then you can decide.
I can send Tally out to do reconnaissance.
And I can send Kiri with her, see if there's anything magical that should be alarming.
Yep. Or if you guys want, you can keep going to Thummim. It's up to you.
I mean, if anything, we could get a short rest out of this. How far away are we actually?
I'll
What do
show
you
you
wanna
back
do?
on. You're almost halfway to Thummim, essentially.
Okay.
You're right here. Right there.
Oh,
Almost
okay.
halfway.
I mean, a brief break, I don't think would hurt anything. And
Yeah, I mean it's dead quiet from where you're at, and I mean other people could have seen this from the road as well, so it's not like this is hidden by any means. But the road leading to it is absolutely hidden. The road literally is just like basically, it's like when you guys get through the tree line to see what this is, all of a sudden there's an old road that leads right up to it, but that was certainly not connected to the road that you were currently on. Now, a couple things come up when you start to go through here as well. First and foremost, it does look like there's an old graveyard here, um, uh, which makes you think maybe this is the remnants of a church, although you're not sure. There is a campsite, but no one in it. And then there's this structure.
Theo, let me send my familiar in first, just in case it's dangerous.
I'll if you watch my stream, I'll take where you want to go do familiar. Just let me know in general where you want to command the familiar, though.
I want to do one lap down. I want to fly over the graves, over the camp, kind of following the wall around.
Yep.
Kind of that distance. I want to take a look to see if I see any humanoid or living creatures inside the ruins. I want to see if there's any, just the inside, and then if I don't see anything, I want to do a tighter circle around the ruin, and just kind of get a gist of the inside.
Okay. So okay, so we'll do this first. So you do go ahead and fly around, and first and foremost, what you notice is that there is what look to you like some kind of weird magical artifacts on top of this thing with some glowing stuff and some things that look like they are definitely like intricate on the top of this structure. And then you see a bunch of people in robes and hoods. And they all the robes are gray. They don't have anything on them in particular. However, one of them is visible enough to you that you can see that they have a pin on them. Go ahead and do a perception check, but unfortunately you have to actually you get to use your stats. You can use your own perception. Go ahead and do a perception check.
All right,
See
I'm
if
going
you
to
can see
portent
this.
that to an 18
All right,
plus.
then you can see it. No, that's fine. Then you can actually see this. This is what it looks like. I know that other people probably remember this, but this is
I'm
what you
guessing,
see.
yeah.
Here. So this is the pin that you see. Um,
Oh God, it's the pin.
so this is the pin that they're all wearing. Go ahead and make a history check. You're gonna do this at
Oh, boy.
disadvantage.
Okay. History disadvantage.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, a 10.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know. You have no idea.
Can I describe it to the group?
You can.
while in because I'm looking through the eyes of my familiar. Can I just describe what it looks like to everyone else?
You can. Yeah.
Can I roll with disadvantage?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, you can do a normal roll if he describes it well enough. Let's see what he says.
I'll give I'll give Erastus
I'm going
guidance.
to explain the shape, the symbol, hold on. The two
What do you think your
so
character? Right. What do you think your character would say in general terms?
I would explain that it looks like uh, a prism with two pointed curves that are kind of nested in one another, that it's a pin on these gray robed figures, that there's multiple in this ruin. It seems to be some sort of emblem or religious symbol.
All right. Go ahead, Erasmus. Go ahead and roll without disadvantage, and let's see what you find. You've actually seen this before a long time ago, so let's see.
Well, okay.
Can I also give him guidance?
Yeah, you can give him guidance on this. Yeah.
All right. I went ahead and rolled it. It's a 3.
Okay.
God damn it.
Erasmus doesn't remember.
I can actually make that a 15.
I was
Okay.
about to say you have Flash of Genius.
Yeah, I'm gonna flash genius that too. I'm gonna
Okay.
make that 12, which makes it a 15.
Erasmus takes out. So he at first he has no idea, but then he's like, wait a second.
I still
And he
have the
actually
thing.
takes out the pen that he has originally. This is obviously the symbol of the Arcane Brotherhood. It looks the same. It's got to be the Arcane Brotherhood.
Oh, they're the guys, the Luskin guys.
Are these allies?
Oh,
Probably.
Should we
It's-
interface with them?
Yeah, I
hard.
mean, we did a job for them, and we did exactly what they asked. We went into it, and we made it pretty far in. We actually
But-
never reported back on that.
Well,
we were also
Well,
in it for
Erasmus,
50
you
years.
also know that that was a long time ago. That was a long,
Yeah.
long time ago.
We
and
were
that's
also
what
in there for
Sia would
50
point
years.
out.
But I have their little pin, so I don't know.
But at the same time, Erastus, we don't know what exactly has changed with the Brotherhood since we've come back.
No, but we don't. I mean, like, we don't. But there's a lot of things we don't know. I mean, we didn't know what was going on with that village. We went in there anyways.
I'm not opposed to speaking with them. I'm just cautious
It
that
seems
things
like
may go.
I've been ran out of villages my whole life, and suddenly I'm the least jumpy person here.
I'm more cautious
Oh,
about what
no,
the Brotherhood's been up to for the last 50 years.
Well,
I'm
mean,
quite
yeah.
intrigued.
I mean, it's not like we we went particularly out of our way. This is like near a main road,
It is near a main road.
so and they're out in the open.
Right, but they still let Luskin fall into despair to the point where they burned my brother's home down 6 times. So I'm worried that something's happened to the Brotherhood, but I will go with you to speak with them. I'm just not optimistic.
I mean, we both knew who we were kind of getting in bed with when we signed up for this whole initial thing. Granted, there's only 3 of us left that did it, but I don't know. I tried to. If you remember, I didn't want to deal with them in the first place.
I know, and I didn't either, but here we are. I'm just saying be cautious. I'm not saying let's avoid it.
All right, let's just go talk to them. I mean, I got this little pen thing here. And I'll just clip it to my shirt.
Yeah.
On my
All
shirt.
right,
My little I don't know. I
Polo
don't wear
tag.
clothes. You know what? Yeah, I'll just put it on the armor. Fucking use mending to weld it to it.
Okay. Here, let me grab your guys' miniatures for you just in case.
Oh, by the way, Umbra, you're from.
Yes,
Just don't mention Toba. Probably better not to.
I
bring them up.
wasn't. I wasn't. Don't worry.
Not worried. Never was worried.
Are they practitioners of the arcane?
They
I've never-
are, from what I can tell, the practitioners of the arcane.
Ooh, I would. Oh gosh, I've
Don't
never.
ask professional questions with them.
Oh, but I've never gotten to talk to another wizard. that wasn't, from that other group, but like a whole school of them, a group.
Yeah, I only kind of really know you and the one other one, and all she's given me is a broken bowl. So
Yes, well, I'm very sorry about that.
it's okay. Still better than the other ones. Let's go have a word with these folks.
Yep. So, I guess tell me. So you are going to be back here, by the way, by the caravan. So first and foremost, I guess tell me what your plan of approach is,
We were just gonna walk up.
and say hi and like make yourself known, all that stuff, or just walk
Yeah,
up.
just try not to be suspicious.
Yep. Okay. Um. All right. Oops.
I'm gonna walk up behind Erastus. If Erastus is walking up, I'll accompany him.
Okay.
Yeah, Sia will go too.
All right. So we'll do this real quick. Man, Erasmus, I don't even. What's the other one that I use for you? Let's see.
The knoll.
Yeah, that null. But there was. Do
There,
you remember what the original one was?
half orc.
Okay. Well, we'll use the null. It's fine. I found it. You are the GSB 831,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right. Cool. And CO, are you through Erasmus right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
control her
cool.
character.
All right, cool. Okay. All right. So is the idea to get to like here and just say like basically call out to people, or
Yeah,
I guess tell me what you want.
where are their minis at?
So the only that's a great question. So the only Tyler's character is going to basically tell you that he sees them within the building here, and let me start placing the ones that you saw. Um, hold on.
And it's like a ruined building. It's obviously not fit for habitation.
No, it's definitely a ruined building. Yeah.
They did seem like they had some sort of setup, some field uh, laboratory.
I'm hanging back. I think this is a dumb idea, but what the hell? It's not the first dumb idea I've gone along with.
All right, Rasa. So you can now see at least one of them up here doing whatever they're supposed that they seem to be doing busily. There's another one on the outside here as well that you can now make out and see.
I can, because I don't see any of them.
Maybe you can't see them because of the line of sight.
Nope.
Let me put you over. Can you see them now on
Now I
your
can.
thing? Yeah, it must be they tried to do line of sight poorly, but anyway, let me put yours over here too.
Oh, I can see them.
Now you should be able to see some of them through line of sight, but anyway. Okay. So there should be some here, at least one here and at least one here. No one's noticed you yet. What would you like to say to them?
What do I do? And I'll just kind of like awkwardly wave.
Okay.
Am I up here by myself?
No.
Yeah.
Umbra and-
Oh, it's Sia wants to come too. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else?
Max probably would have also gone up.
Okay. And Umbra's up there, it looks like. Everyone else is staying behind, correct? Everyone
Yes.
else being Gretna, and Pan. Yep.
No, it was
Okay.
just me, Gretna, and
Yep.
Sia. The OG3.
Okay. All right. As you get to this place anyway, by the way, this statue completely lights up, in a way that you've never seen Erasmus, and it walks out to here and says, we'll do this in a second.
The
Damn it.
statue walks.
Okay.
Thanks, Tailspire.
I explained
Yeah,
to Pan that the people in the tomb told us
it walks to here,
Lucky
and
Brotherhood's bad news.
and it says, "State your business. Stay away." And it puts its hand up, and stops you. But yes, this is the 9-foot stone statue.
We were just gonna say hi. We did a job, and I'll just point to the pin.
Okay. All right. The statue looks like its eyes glow for a second. And it looks like up and down at every single individual or whatever. And then the statue stops moving and turns into a statue again. And then sure enough, only 10 to 30 seconds later, you see a robed man start floating down to meet the entire party here.
Max takes a bit of a readied sort of stance, not a fighting stance, but just a ready stance to
Okay.
act if something happens.
Yep.
Hello.
He says, "Hello, where did you get that pen?"
Well, it's a funny story. Have you been to Luskin?
He said, "Well, that doesn't answer my question." And he looks over at you thoughtfully.
We got it from the Brotherhood in Luskin about 50 years ago, and they asked us to go into a Sararak tomb, and it's a bad tomb, and we were in there for like a week, and we come out, and it's been 50 years, and this is kind of the first opportunity we've had to come back and talk about the job we were asked to do.
Right. And we lost contact with the Brotherhood. They gave us a sending stone, but
And
within the tomb it didn't work.
I'll give him the stone.
Okay. Yeah, he'll put his hand out. He puts his hand. So this is what he looks like now that you've got a good look at him. He's an older man, probably in his late 50s. He does have a graying beard. He puts his hand up to his beard and kind of like thinks thoughtfully to himself. And he says, "Well, you certainly don't seem like you're lying, but let's have a look at this." And he does go through and he looks at he looks at what you've given him. He does think to himself. His hands start to glow, and then it looks like he is casting identify on the object itself. He waits. He doesn't say anything. He says, "So tell me more. You said that the Brotherhood gave you a job to do 50 years ago." He said, "I think I vaguely recall something about uh, special jobs in Luskin that required the aid of people outside of the Brotherhood. But to confirm this, I need to know more."
Well, they brought this thing around on a cart, and we touched it, and it glowed special for us. So we got brought inside this tower that normal people can't go in, and then yeah, we went into the tomb, and a lot of us died really quickly, but we didn't. We met a Sararak, and we thought we beat him, but we didn't beat him, and then we kind of got shunted out, and now we're here.
Can
Sit
Seal
up.
insight this guy as he's like
Sure.
talking to Rassus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to insight him to see if there's any sense of hostility from him.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to know
Not too good.
why he's asking more.
Yeah,
of-
it doesn't seem like he's outwardly being hostile to you for now. And CO, you're puzzled by why he's asking more. But he does say, so he says, well, he says, "This has definitely been an interesting day." He says, "So I'm doing some important work." He said, "Your name again?" He's pointing to you, Erasmus.
Gage, I think you're on mute, hon.
Oh, I'm Erasmus. Hi, nice to meet you. How you doing?
He said, Arasus, I
I'm in.
have an important job that I'm doing here at the Arcane Brotherhood. We've been bothered quite a few times. It seems like there's been a couple nosy travelers that have come through here. I it was my idea to do the necessary ritual to create an illusion, but I was voted off against that idea, and we put our resources elsewhere. That said, and he points to the statue, that's been doing a good job so far, and understand that if you hadn't had something as interesting, it would have ushered you off. If you insisted on coming in, obviously that would have been at your peril. That said, this is interesting. Tell me what you know about the Arcane Brotherhood, just out of curiosity, or what you were told when you had this job.
Pretty much that. Defenders of first line of defense against magical
That is right.
maladies that threaten the world. Beneficial to the nature of mortal kind. The general stuff.
He said, good. He said, so, this is what I can tell you. First and foremost, thank you on behalf of the Arcane Brotherhood for doing this great service to us. Did you find anything of particular interest within the tomb? Um, many artifacts within this tomb are incredibly dangerous, and it would be unfortunate if most of them were to see the light of day within the world out here. They can cause chaos and they can cause other, negative problems. Uh, could I happen to see what you ended up getting from the tomb?
Yeah, I don't got a problem with that.
Okay.
Erasmus, show them the gold.
Yeah, and um, I will. Who's got the bag of holding? Who's got the bag of holding?
I
Gretna.
do. Hold on.
Oh,
Wait.
bag
Oh,
of
geez,
holding.
just when I needed to be in.
But I figure we could keep that.
Sorry about Gretna's got the bag of holding. My
That's
I'll
fine.
just
Theo,
wave at her and tell her come on over here.
Theo will offer to go get the bag of holding from Gretna to get the gold. Chris, would it be possible for her to message Erasmus through her book and tell him to keep what we have on the down low?
Yeah, you can the way that it works is you start writing in the book and then it comes into their minds.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
their response comes into my book.
Yep. That's fine. Yeah, you can do that
Well,
for now. And
as you say that, like Erasmus is like laying out like gears and cogs, which he pulled off of traps. Like every mundane thing that he found, he just put in a little pile, and he's going into like a story time, like a show and tell moment of like the story behind all these little trinkets.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Keep
Yep.
that up.
And I'll show it. Oh, I'm also gonna pull out the last. It's not enough for me to do anything, so I wasn't gonna do anything with it. But I have a 1 ounce piece of that strange rock that was like nigh on unbreakable.
Yeah.
When
It's
I
like
give her
1 ounce, and I'm gonna show it to him like, and I have no earthly clue what this is, but I've wasted a bunch of it. This is the only piece I have left.
I
He
give
said-
her the bag of holding when she comes to me, and I say, "You watch out." They told us. The other guys told us to watch out for these guys.
Yes.
I know.
So he by the way, he sees.
Oh, hang on 1 second. Can you hang on?
He sees the bag, by the way. He sees the bag, Gretna, and he says, "Well," he says, "Did we give you that? That's quite an item."
No.
No, we found it.
We were
No, we bought that. We bought the bag of holding at the thing. That was the last, the
Oh,
only one
yeah.
they had.
We did
the
buy
Red
that.
Dragon
Yeah.
Traders.
We
He
bought
said,
it.
"Well,"
given
he said, "Well, that must have been expensive." He said, "I'm surprised you have one." And he says, "So, is there anything in there that was noteworthy from the tomb?"
Primarily the gold that I'm trying to bring you. It's baffling to us how we didn't understand it sooner, but apparently it's cursed. And Sio, would she have a handkerchief or something that she could just grab a handful of the gold with and bring it back?
Yeah. So the way the bag of the holding works is you can take a handkerchief and then just think about the gold itself.
Okay.
Unfortunately, what ends up happening with this, and Max found this out too. You think about the gold, and it's literally all within your reach, like the all 50,000 gold pieces, which is a massive amount within your
Uh-huh.
reach, but it doesn't come pouring out of the bag, so you can
Good.
just take a handful.
Yeah,
And
that was your
yeah,
plan.
yeah,
And she'll tell him, and it is to the best of
10,000, right? Yeah, that
yeah,
was me misspeaking. Sorry. Yeah, no, that was my bad. It's 10,000. She's absolutely right. Yeah.
yeah. Sia will just take a handful of that to him and explain that this is mainly what we found, and it's only become of interest once we've gotten out here. And she'll briefly explain that we've discovered that the gold is cursed um, when a merchant had taken some of it.
He said, "Oh yeah, curses are nasty things. Are hard to discern beforehand
And
for the
you're
most part."
welcome
He said,
to it
"What
if you
what
want.
actually happened to the merchant though?"
I'm unfortunately not aware. The poor fellow died, is all I'm certain of, but I'm not certain how.
He
All
said,
we know is that
Yeah.
he got the gold and he died, so we put
So,
2 and 2 together on that.
so
he
we're
said,
really glad we
I
took
see,
off.
but but in order to give the gold, one of you had to handle it." And looks around. He said, which one handled it?"
The tall one that doesn't talk very much. And I point to Mac.
Yeah, and he says, "Well," he says, "that's interesting. My guess is that the gold then is safe for the individual that took it originally, and may not be so safe for others, in an effort to fool you into believing that it is safe."
Does
Probably.
Mac wear
That's
gloves?
he does wear gauntlets, but he explains to he explains to you that's not going to help you.
Okay, I'm
He
not
said
there. I'm just
he said,
wondering.
however, he said this is another interesting fact. He said, what was your name, miss?
Me? No, I was asking you
He's
actually.
he's actually looking at CO. Said, what was your name, miss?
Seal.
He said, well, to be honest, you should be dead. So, I'm not exactly sure. This is complex magic. Um, maybe it's tied secretly to the people that were in the Tomb of Horrors. Maybe it's tied to something with time. He said, however, this is very, 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 very dangerous stuff. I will not be touching it. That said, if you'd like to dump it out on the ground, I will get people on it right away.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm all
Well,
about that. Thanks for the help.
m- you're more than welcome to this portion. And Sia will take the handkerchief and she'll squat down and tie it so the handkerchief covers all of it like a small bundle.
Yep.
And she'll offer it to him. Would not be surprised if he does not take it, but she'll offer him
Yeah,
whatever handful of gold she got.
he doesn't take. He said, just put it down on the ground. He said, but miss, forgive me, but all of it, all of it. I can't have dangerous things out in the world. Um, you need to leave all of it here.
We don't have a use for it.
But with all due respect, we were told what money we found in the tomb would be welcome to us, and
Sia,
we
we
have
can't
He said,
do anything
he
with
said,
it.
yes, but you have to understand these are things that are going to cause a bunch of harm within the world. He looks at you, and go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me a go ahead and try to do a deception check because he's going to insight you.
Yeah, I figured that much. Let me find it.
Yeah, and Arash
You've
is
given him reason to insight, so hold on.
Fuck!
Ooh,
working against
Again,
you.
it was
yeah,
on the 20.
he got a
God
19.
damn,
He got a 19, by the way.
I got a 6. It
Okay.
was at the 20.
All right. So he looks at you and he says, "You have other things, I think." He said, "Just just if you could, please, just show me, like, let's dump the gold out, but also let's just see what we have here."
Yeah, let's just you know do it. I mean, we can't use the gold.
You also can't dump out. You you can't dump out the bag without, I think, turning it
No, no,
inside out, which destroys it.
correct. And also, what he says, what he clarifies to you as he sees that you're getting like the gold. He says, "You know how this works, right? Do I need to explain it to you?"
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Just either there's a couple things that we can do here. You either empty out the bag by grabbing all the items, or I send my familiar in.
I mean, both of those would accomplish the same thing, so we'll just save you the trouble. Just scoop out all the gold. I mean, we can see. I don't know why you're arguing with him on this so much.
I
You can
wasn't
use it.
arguing. I was more so pointing out my confusion. Specifically, the money. Most other things I could care less about. I was more concerned about the money,
But we can't use it. It's not like we're losing anything.
which is why I'm going to get the money. And she'll go over to Gretna, and what she'll do is she's just going to start shoveling with her hands the gold out of the bag. She's not toppling it out. She's just going to kind of lay it on its side and scoop the gold out.
Yeah, everyone's heard this, by the way,
It's a lot
too.
of money.
Theoretically, CO should be dead, so keep that in mind as well. But
It's,
CO, you now that you've at least touched it with the handkerchief, you're brave enough that you can start scooping this out. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a lot of money. Sorry, this might take a minute. Anyways, what's
Yeah.
your name, Mr. Sir?
He said, he looks at you and he says, "Well, Erasmus, my name is Don."
Oh, nice to meet you.
Do I believe him? Or is
Did
it a
you-
him
did
or
you
her?
It's a him. Did you
Okay.
insight check him?
I would like to.
Yeah, go for it.
Where are you from, Don?
He said, "Luskin."
Oh, that's cool. We were just there.
10.
He seems
Oh,
like he's trustworthy. He
I'm
seems
from
like he's
Ahoy
trustworthy,
Hoy.
at least.
You know where that is?
He said, I have an idea where Ahoy Hoy is." He said, I had a guess you might have actually been from Ahoy Hoy. He said, "So, can you tell me a little bit about the tomb itself? You said you saw a Sarek,
Yep.
and you were alive? Amazing."
Lot.
Chris, what are the other wizards doing while we're talking?
Literally ignoring you doing their work. So they are busy. They are incredibly busy up there. Every now and then you do see what looks like lightning and sparks and other things come up from in here as well. They're doing some kind of experimentation, which I will allow you to do an Arcana check on, if you wish to. Anytime you're doing an Arcana check, though, it's something that he will kind of realize, but that's fine.
I'm gonna
20.
point at the little lightning thing and be like, "Oh, he had one of those too."
Yeah, so it looks like what they happen to be doing is working on on a couple different magical items. First and foremost, there's a magical item in the top that's acting like some kind of like magical beacon or rod, and it looks like there's some hardcore experimentation going on. It does look like this rod is basically streaming magical energy deep below this structure. But that's all you can get from your Arcana check all the way over there. But that said, you're sure that it's some kind of they're siphoning magical energy or something like that. He says, so after all the gold is on the ground, he says, listen, he said, because you did an amazing service and because we were the ones that went ahead and commissioned this originally, he says, I'm not going to let you leave empty-handed, but you do need to show me everything you found.
Like, okay.
And he's
Erasmus,
looking directly at Sio.
Seal will nod, and I'm gonna have to pull up the OneNote and see what all we have.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what we have.
No worries.
the
Yeah,
best
most
one.
people probably have forgotten anyway, as you would in real life since you're not like looking in the bag. But go ahead and bring up the OneNote and you can decide what you
Yeah.
kind of think. While we're doing that and while he's going through, he does ask the whole group, like he now he's inquiring about everyone. He's like, so everyone here, you were all in the tomb? Pen, have you come up or are you way behind where you are still? Okay. All right.
She's
He does also ask, he's like, are those two with you?
yeah, they're just nervous. They're nervous Nellies.
He said, okay. He said, well, he said, look, he said, I, I feel like you're being dishonest with me while I've been very forthright with you. That said,
I'm really trying not to.
no, he's not looking at you when he says this, by the way. He's looking directly at CO. He says, that said, Um, I am willing to be reasonable here. And Theo, you start to understand why he's saying what he's saying. Um, he can clearly see the Demonomicon.
Even when it's invisible?
It seems like it because he's staring at it.
Yeah, guys, you know,
Do an Arcana check to figure this out.
if
Do an
you're
Arcana
Yeah.
check.
if you're holding some cards close to the vest, I would say now.
Just Theo or everyone?
No.
Okay.
Right. Well, so right now I think Theo's the only one that would put two and two together to realize that he's staring at her books, and Theo knows where it's at all times, and it's invisible to all of you. So for now, go ahead and do an Arcana check, Theo, and see.
That was a 12.
One question, DM.
Yes.
I have blind sight of 10 feet. Would I be able to sense the Demonomicon?
Theoretically, that is a great question because the Demonomicon is actually floating, and I don't know that it would actually make enough, because I think blind sense. Let me
Blind
double check
sight
that.
can perceive its surroundings without relying on sight within a specific radius. And another part of it is you can see invisible creatures, but unless they hide from you.
Is it through sound? That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm not sure if blind should be surroundings without relying on sight with a specific radius. Creatures with eyes. Yeah, I
Tremor
think you're
sense
right.
is the one with sound.
Typically have this special sense, as do creatures with heightened senses such as bats and true dragons. If a monster is naturally blind. It's interesting, right? This is a really interesting thing. Let's see.
The way I sort of imagined it is that Max could sort of sense the key of other
Yep.
creatures and things around him.
Yeah, I do think that's reasonable. Let me see. Well, creatures without sight cannot see their blind sight is able. If you definitely can target creatures, I mean that's absolutely something you can do,
Yeah.
with blind sight. So, the interesting thing is, can you actually target invisible magical items? And that is a good question. So let me just make sure. Tell you what, I'm not going to make an official ruling right now. For now, I'll say you can. I do reserve the right to change that. I'm going to look into this because it's very interesting. But for now,
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
say that you can. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And anyway, Sia, what was your Arcana check?
It was only a 12.
Okay. The only thing that you can guess is maybe he has preemptively cast Detect Magic, potentially,
Mm.
which would still theoretically show him that you have some kind of magical artifact there, even if it's invisible. Maybe.
CO will continue to pull items out of the bag and will just put them on the ground, such as the 10 colored gems and
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna
the
show
blood
you
sealed
Needleman.
letter, the sapphires, ring of
Okay.
truth telling potions and stuff.
The Ring of Truth tell. Okay, so okay, yep. He said it, so as you start putting this out, he's like, first and foremost, has anyone actually touched these? Are these safe?
Yeah, totally.
We've
I
handled
would
them,
assume
but
so.
like you said,
Okay.
doesn't-
He picks up the ring, and he says, "Any idea what this does?"
Makes you tell the truth.
Interesting. And then he goes through the gems and asks the same question.
No, those are just gems.
Okay. All right, Pen. Okay. He actually looks at you, Pen, and he says, "An interesting group of individuals. A Triton?"
Yeah.
He said, "Interesting." He said, "What? How?" And he says, "You were in the original group? We commissioned you 50 years ago?"
Nope.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Rob, look at this. Ask it a question, and I give him the professor orb.
Okay. Yeah. So he says, interesting, and he looks at the Professor Orb. Uh, he realizes right away that you can tell that he's very interested. He's like, no, he's like, well, and he eyes you, Sio, as he backs up here, and he says, he says, "K- I have a problem now. He says, look, these are interesting things, and we are willing to compensate you for them. That said, and he looks at Sio.
I knew it.
He says, I'm not so sure that I can just let you walk away with the item that you must have, Tiefling. He said, that said, he said, I'll make a deal with you privately.
Tia will just look at him and wait.
Yep.
Or slow down there, Buster Brown.
He does walk back, by the way. He says, stay here. And the statue activates again, by the way. He walks back and he is now back in here doing something.
As
You
he
guys
is
have a couple
gone,
minutes. Yeah.
As he is gone, Sio is going to. This will be probably a terrible idea,
Then don't
but
do it.
we're
Then
rolling
don't
with
do it.
it. She's gonna message Crack-a-Lacka and see if he'll make an appearance.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah,
No. You theoretically. Yeah. Of course you can do that. So what do you want to say to Crakalaka?
We're bringing
I'm
out
going to
everything we got in the tomb.
Yep, I'm going to tell him that
We didn't get him in
We're-
the tomb. We got him in the Doom Vault.
yeah, she's still going to message Crack-a-Lacka and say, we are disposing of some magical items and have met people who may wish to go with you to see unicorns.
Okay. Yeah. So in 3 to 4 minutes after you say this, and he's still busy doing what he's doing, this is what you see. A what looks like iron metal skull literally shunts into existence and drops on the ground, and then it disappears, and then it drops again, and then Sio disappears completely. Sio is gone. Yeah, no one has any idea what just happened. Sio is literally gone as soon as she was there. It's indescribable.
Fuck.
Sio is now not here. Now,
I don't-
Kakalaka does also leave. Kakalaka leaves again. That was presumably Kakalaka, but he was encased in metal for some reason.
You,
He probably can't leave the
you fuck around. You fucked around, and now you found out.
No, I
So
fucked
anyway, he
around
comes.
that
So
out.
he comes back. He comes. So he starts walking back, and he says, "Sio, where did Sio go?" And he looks at the statue glaringly, as if in disbelief. He does have, by the way, a bag in his hand. Presumably, it looks like it's gold coins.
Like a baseball bat?
God
No,
damn
no,
it,
bag,
Caleb.
bag. He has a bag, a
I was
decently
trying to
large bag with
sweeten
gold
this deal.
coins. Yeah.
I was sweetening the deal, you guys. I really thought they'd like Crack-a-Lacka more than the rest of us.
No, because now we have to explain where you went. You ran off of this Demonomicon shit.
Oh, the best part is Sio literally has no idea. Sio did find out last session, but
Okay.
for the people that are very confused, it will make sense. But this all happened in another group session. They're the
Oh, dear
problem, they're
God.
the purpose.
Oh, she's burning to death right now.
Yeah, I'm burning
Yeah.
at the stake.
You'll see in a second. This is going to get very confusing to everyone else that has not seen that session or whatever. But another group has done something at this exact time that has literally taken Sio out. So
well,
um,
let's explain this away. And,
It
So
wasn't
anyway.
my fault.
yeah, let's.
so anyway, so he comes back with this bag, and he's looking at the statue in utter disbelief. And he says, "Someone care to explain this to me?" And he looks at you, Erasmus.
She was just here, and then vanished. Well, God damn it! Yeah, Yeah, I guess it is.
His eyes narrow, and he says, "Do you?" He says, "I was going to pay you for your time, but this." And he looks at where Sio used to be. Did she run?
No, it. Look, there's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get pulled into.
Do me a favor, Pan. Go ahead and make a persuasion check on that too. Let's.
Look, here's the
Please.
truth, man. Don. Sometimes we get pulled into.
I'm going to port that to an 11.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay. He sighs a little bit and he says, "Well, I hope you're right."
Can people hear
Anyone?
me?
Yeah, go
You're
ahead,
very
Russ.
soft.
Okay, people just kept talking at the same time I was. I didn't know if I couldn't be heard.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I just
you're
wanted to get that in.
Okay. No, you're fine. Continue. Sorry, I just want to make sure I could be heard. You can continue. I'll step back.
No, I think they're done. It's he does look at you, Erasmus, and he says, um, "So as I was saying, we are willing to compensate you for these incredibly dangerous items. Um, however, now we're going to have to wait until the tiefling is back. If she's not back," and he looks at all of you, "I will have no choice but to detain you."
That's fine. We could use a nap. Oh, look, I don't intend to make trouble for you. The truth of the matter is, we don't know what binds us with all the other people that went into the tomb, but sometimes we get pulled to them, and sometimes they get pulled to us. There was one group that went in before us. Um, I don't know where they went in from, but they're out. And there was one group that went in after us, and they're still in it, but they're back in time. It is confusing, and I don't really understand it, but that's the situation. So, yeah, I know that they didn't go in from Luskin.
So as you say this, a very brightly burning, very bright, of all colors, by the way. This is you've never seen this before, Krakalaka. It's like he's basically a burning rainbow. He gets shunted back in, and he goes, "What's going on? What was that?" And he looks at
You can kill me,
Arcane Brotherhood person.
by the
He
way.
says, "Whoa, Rassus, you're alive and everything's great." And he looks at you, Pan, and he says, "Where am I? And why did you guys come to me?" It's like Sio said that there was people that wanted to come to my magical place.
Yeah, so Don, if you could kill him, I would really appreciate it.
Don does look at he's like, anyone care to explain this?" And he actually does look at the statue, and the statue does get into a fighting stance.
The statue shrugs.
Yeah, it gets into like this fighting stance where it takes its shield up. It's got a stone sword as well. Um, you know what? As a matter of fact, I think any of the like actually Umbra, do an Arcana check on this, because I think you would naturally be like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" Because he is a wizard, and it is
14.
some. Yeah, it looks like this is probably, you've heard of stories of this. It looks like he is either a shield golem or some kind of magical construct that this wizard has created, um, which is interesting, to say the least to you. But that's what it looks like, at least. So
Yeah.
anyway, so Krakalaka does say, he actually materializes the door. The door will be right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
no.
trying to like con us to go into this place, and we found him in the dungeon, and we're just not buying it. I just sorry, call me untrusting, but this guy is he's annoying to be for but also I just don't trust it. But I mean, if you want to take a look at whatever, he's also got something in his mouth that's like magic. We figured you'd want to take a look at that too.
I'll just put this as a placeholder for now. This is where he materializes the door. Um, as you're saying this, by the way, Crakalaka looks at you. He says, "Shh, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it." And then he starts flying around. He goes through and he says, "Do I have a deal for you, sir?" And the door opens, and sure enough, it does look like there's like this like basically idyllic prairie like landscape. You do see a unicorn behind everything, or whatever looks like a unicorn, and he says, "So, this is the deal that I have for you, kind sir. You walk through my portal, and you free this land, and all your magical wishes will become a reality." As he's saying that, by the way, the shield golem does, or whatever it is, comes up to the portal itself and walks next to it, presumably doing something over here. Um, as that's happening, he actually does look at Crakalaka, and he starts to basically cast something. As a reaction, does anyone want to do anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Can't help them. Can I? Whatever you're doing.
I'm
can I-
also gonna back up.
Okay. Let me give you where Crakalaka is, by the way. This will be Crakalaka for now.
Max is just
kill it.
stunned by all this.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of shit going on right now. So he starts to cast something. You see, Crakalaka glow as he starts to cast. And then Crakalaka vanishes, leaves. Now, surprisingly, the door is still there, and he is now doing some kind of investigation with the actual thing itself. CO, as this happens, CO, you come back. CO, you still have the flames around you. They're purple. They're purplish pink flames that come through, and immediately he said, "Where did you go?" He stops what he's doing.
Co will proceed to just cough up smoke and kneel on the ground as she tries to catch her breath.
You guys also notice at this point the Demonomicon is visible. You see the book floating, like everyone sees the book floating as well.
Just
She is. You can try. Eventually, they will go away. She is absolutely on fire. Pen, when you even get close enough to do this, it actually burns you. It's incredibly hot. For some reason, it's not affecting CO so badly. Like her flesh is not burning. These are not things you can prestidigitation away, unfortunately. But the one thing that you do notice is that you're surprised that she's not burning to death right now.
I'm gonna put a hand on her and cast absorb elements and absorb the fire.
You can. Yeah, you can.
That should put it out.
Yeah, it will. Yeah,
I'll
that'll
give
put
you
out the
the-
rest of the fire.
I
Yeah.
give you a good pat on the back, and I just suck the fire
Yep.
into my gauntlets.
Yep, that will work.
Chris, I backed up to this campsite. Is there anything like crazy in this campsite, or is it just like basic necessities?
It does look like it's adventuring gear, and then it's completely empty as you start looking through it. Like there's nothing in the tent, but there is an adventurer's pack there.
So I told you she'd be back.
Co is still just gently coughing now that there is not smoke actively filling her lungs, and she will go to right herself, and she'll make pointed eye contact with Dawn. I
I
watched it back to the tomb, met our companions there. They activated something and it pulled us. Well, it pulled me back.
How they doing, by the way?
All right, cool.
Not well.
As you're talking this is a surprise round. I will still allow. So, Seer, you're not going to really get into a reaction off this. Anyone that's in this vicinity. So, if you want to take a reaction, you just have to tell me what it is. So Maximilian, you can take a reaction. Erastus, you can take a reaction. Pan, you can take a reaction. All you see, and this is all happening at the same time, is that some kind of spell is cast, and he puts his hand on Seer's shoulder. Do you want to do anything?
No.
No. What about you, Max? You only get a couple
Uh,
seconds. Yep.
I can't do anything, so no.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is what you guys see. He puts his hand on Sio's shoulder as Sio is talking, like he's interrupting her, obviously. Both vanish. So I will get with you, Sio, afterwards. We don't have
I'm
to go through it
sorry?
now. Yeah, so basically Sio and this guy both vanish. I'll get with you after this to explain what happens. So now you guys are gonna hang out here for just a little bit. Do you want to do anything? The shield golem, by the way, is also still like investigating the door. But Erastus, you see in front of your eyes, he casts, touches Theo, they both go somewhere.
Can with my passives, would I know what spell he cast by the semantic gesture and the verbal components?
It does look like he is casting his own version of teleport. And the reason why you know it's not teleport is because it's foreign to you. It's some kind of crazy ass teleport that either he's invented or it's a school of magic that you're not familiar with, but it's got the basis of that. Now here's the interesting thing. You know for sure that if it's teleport, Sia would have had to go willingly. So that doesn't make sense. So something is going on. It's some kind of foreign thing that you're not familiar with. But teleport is at its core.
Well, he said he wanted to talk with her privately, so maybe that's just like super. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for her.
Yeah.
Maybe he has an
Max
office somewhere.
will I think Max will sort of just walk around the area. Sort of inside this stone area, just having a look around, seeing if there's like seeing if he can see them. He doesn't know too much about magic, so he's just assuming.
Yeah, so and this is what you're so sure enough also for the other group as well, like for everyone else, they haven't stopped what they're doing. Whatever's going on up here is super important. So no one's actually stopped. No one's really like paying attention to any of you. So this is what we can do. We can either wait in real time for this to go through, or you guys can just tell me that you want to just skip until this is done.
How high up are they? The wizards.
That's a
and
good
the
question.
things?
So they are, I'll tell you. We actually have a ruler for this. So they are, I think it's 20 feet, but let's see. They are, oh, I was totally wrong. They are 70 feet up.
70 feet.
Yeah, they're 70 feet up.
Doesn't look it, but okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. No, you know what? The ruler's wrong. It's because I was at an angle. Hold on one second. Let me go through it. I think you're right. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's only 5 tiles. It's 25 feet high.
Okay.
They are from where you're standing. They are like 19, 20 tiles away. But yeah, it's only like 30 feet high.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
Yeah.
Do we want to do anything?
You guys want to
just,
wait,
like-
or do you want to do something?
I'm waiting.
Okay. If
Well-
everyone wants to wait, go ahead.
Well, yeah. Just aside from sort of walking around the area, just looking, see if in walking around inside the stone area.
Oh, in the
that we
stone
just
area.
went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Do you
Just
want to
look-
like get a better landscape of what's going on over here and stuff?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
Max's thought is that they couldn't have gone too far, so he's just gonna sort of
See if you can
wander
see where
around
they're at.
and see
Yep.
if I can spot him.
So Max, one of the things you do see as you get to back here is you see this incredibly ornate fountain that's got these really awful creatures that look similar to demons. You haven't seen these exact ones, but you're sure they're demons. They don't actually look like this. They look very like demonic and going through it. But this is completely out of place. And when you look at the actual water, it's jet black. The water in this fountain is jet black, and there's demons all through this, so that's weird. Not super like nice looking. Um, in a couple more minutes as he's doing this, both of you come back, and he says, "Well then, we've come to an agreement. And I'll get with you later to find out which agreement you took, CO." And he says, "So it's fine. You can be off now." And he hands you the bag, Erasmus. And
thank
as you go through it, sure enough, it has 3,000 gold pieces in it.
Oh, cool. Well, we can actually use this. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we get to keep the other stuffs.
He says, no. He says the Professor Orb and the other things that's coming with me, but this is for your time and also for the fact that you have now taken these dangerous artifacts out of the world.
Can I keep everything?
Everything that everything that CO had laid out. So the gems, Professor Orb that was handed to him, the Ring of Truth Telling, and then the potions.
Yeah,
and then
there's
the
a lot of
potions.
stuff we didn't mention. Like I
Yeah.
never mentioned the gauntlets. I never mentioned the needle of mending. I
Right,
never
right.
mentioned my flame
right.
elemental
No,
force.
it's only the items you mentioned. It's only the items you mentioned, and he's
Okay.
he's happy with that.
Good
And
trade.
then,
Yep.
yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I had said
Good
Yep,
trade.
thanks.
Good trade. And we got rid of 50,000 cursed gold.
10,000. Yeah. Yeah.
10,000 cursed gold. So we still have 40,000 left.
Yeah. You have.
I thought we had 50. But okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was 10,000.
All right. Well, we got rid of it. That's all that matters.
I'll highlight what.
So now we have 30,000.
Yeah. Now you have 3,000. You have 3,000 gold.
No, we
I'll
had zero
trade-
We
gold,
traded
now we have
10,000
3,000
gold for 3,000 gold. That's a great bargain.
No,
Yes.
we traded 10,000 unusable gold of
For
10,000
3,000 gold.
And
monopoly
a Professor
dollars.
Orb and a Ring of Truth Telling for 3,000 gold.
We never used the Ring of Truth Telling once, and the Professor Orb is broken.
Yeah.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, we still have an Afridi bottle. He didn't ask for it.
Yep, still
That's
have that.
right. That is
We
always
played-
a good point. But
I feel very happy about the way we played the situation, honestly.
I don't. You probably don't want to give the Arcane Brothers a free bottle anyway. But you never know. So,
I'd probably
but anyway, so he does thank everyone, and he's now busy doing this. Now, here's the interesting thing. For Umbra and for Erasmus, you have no idea what the hell he fucking casts at Krakalaka, because his portal is still up. And if Krakalaka's the one doing the magic, either Krakalaka's still around or there, or something, because the portal should have gone. Like he should have. It's a concentration spell for the most part, you would assume, and somehow it's still up. So just keep that in mind.
I want to ask him, not that I care or anything.
Yep.
But is that skull going to come back and bother us again, or did you take care of that? Because if you took care of that, thank you.
He said no. The skull's in stasis. It'll stay there until we figure out what this portal is.
Is there a way, like, can I give you my phone number or something? When you figure it out, can you let me know? I'm just really, what I'm going to ask him is if there's a way that he could tell me, just for professional curiosity, if he figures out where this leads to, because this guy's been trying to sell us this pony show for like a week now, and I'm just really curious if he was lying to us.
He does give you another pin. He said, "Well, before you left, I was going to hand this to you anyway." But he gives you another pin of the Arcane Brotherhood, a separate one that he has in his bag. And he said, "Just wear this." And he said, "If you need to reach out to me, by all means, just go ahead and do that."
Oh, thank you. Does this mean like I'm an honorary member?
He said no, but it will allow you to communicate with me.
Okay.
Will you will
I'll
you
take
be
it, I'll
readily
forget what the
available
old one was.
to talk to us, or is this mission ongoing here at this location?
He said, "Unfortunately, I can't really tell you what we're doing here." He said, "That said, you never know. I mean, maybe at some point, we can have a better discussion about all of this stuff." But he said, "For now, you have done your service to the Arcane Brotherhood, and I thank you for that. But it's probably best at this point if we part ways."
Well, yeah, about that. I was gonna actually ask a favor. This might be a little out of line. You seem like you can do some pretty powerful spells. Is there a way you could, like, I don't know, send us somewhere so we didn't have to take the beaten path?
Do you have
He
any
said,
spell
well,
scrolls?
he said, he says, and he looks around and he says, well, he said, I guess I wasn't going to get much work done today anyway. He said, where did you want to go?
That's an excellent question, Don.
He said, I will do this for you since you've been so incredibly helpful. He said, however, this will be my last spell for the day, so understand that this is valuable to me.
Oh yeah, I appreciate
Hurry.
it. You want to go to where are we going, Theo?
You can tell that he's insinuating he's going to cast Arcane Gate for you.
Where are we going?
Before we go, you don't have any extra spell scrolls lying around that you have no use of, do you?
He flares at you and he says, really?
We're
I'm
already
going to,
in.
I am going to cast Arcane Gate for you. That's more than enough. And he looks at you,
Okay.
Umbra.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Um,
You're doing good work here.
So DM.
Yeah, yeah.
While this was happening, and Max saw the black water and such.
Yes. Yes.
What he would have done, what he'll do is he'll empty out his water skin, and
Yep.
he'll, well, first he'll actually pick up like a stray pebble or something,
Yep.
and drop it in.
Yep. You are able to. It sinks to the bottom.
Okay. He'll pour out his water skin and sink it into the fountain.
Okay.
And just collect the sample. And once it's filled up, he'll close it up and he'll go around behind the wall. Not on the stone. On the
Okay.
outskirts.
Oh, gotcha. Do you want to make a stealth check?
Sure. It was almost a natural one, but that's a 14.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I meant on the other side of the wall.
Gotcha. You want to
So
go,
sort
you
of
want to
leave-
basically go all
over
the way
and
here?
leave here around the front, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That makes total sense then. Okay. Yeah, you
I'm
totally
watching
can.
him.
Yep. You totally can, and he will not be able to see you in that case. So, all right. So, yeah, so he says, I don't have all day. Now, Arcane Gate can literally take you to almost anywhere within Faerun, assuming that he knows how to get there. So you can be a little, like, you can just ask and he'll tell you if he can do it, essentially.
Would anyone have any idea as to would Nith fall under the area of influence of the Red Wizards? Would that be like us
You have
asking
to
to
do a
get to?
history check. You could ask
Okay.
him or do a history check, but yeah.
I'm not going to ask him. I'm going to do a history check.
Okay, go for it.
Well, we have to tell them where we're going.
22.
It does. From everything that you can possibly think about going back and forth between this, it does not seem like they would have Thean influence. They would not have any influence over there.
Okay.
We just curious. I'm not asking, but could you send us to a hoi hoi?
He goes through and he says, I don't have a point there. He said, and he looks back. He says, no.
Damn it. Okay. All right. Any requests?
Well, I thought we were. I look over to Theo.
Do you want to ask him how it works, Erasmus?
Sure.
Yeah. So basically he says, listen, I will cast Arcane Gate for you. But he said, what that means is that I have to have a point that I have already set up. He says, I have many points around the world that I've set up for this. He said, and he shows you the glowing ring. So essentially he starts casting the first part of it. It's this almost like two-dimensional glowing ring filled with mist. And it just literally hovers from the ground. He says, once you tell me where you want to go, I will create another entrance point, but I have to have a point. Um, and so he just asked. He said, "So, can you tell me?"
Max will come around the corner and say and whisper to Co. Didn't you want to go to Nith to see your brother?
I do, but realistically, we could get there on foot. But if there's someone else who wants to go somewhere else, be my guest. This is an incredible opportunity, but Nith is my choice.
And I promised I would help you through Nith.
Sia will just give you a very warm smile. She appreciates it, all things considered.
Well, I mean, you guys said that out loud, right?
Yeah, Sia
Well,
was talking to Max. She wouldn't have been
yeah.
quiet about it, but she'll
Yeah.
look to the rest of the party to confirm that Nith is the choice.
He said, "Well, you're in luck." He said, "I can take you to Nith."
Okay, let's go for
Well,
it.
let's go.
All right, so you guys see this swirling, glowing circle in front of
Damn
him,
it.
and
And
it's
I come
slow.
up. I know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
and it sort of slowly rises up into what looks like a portal, and then you guys see what looks like a town on the other end. The town does look like it's seen better days. You see some dilapidated buildings as if the structures have been recently attacked, but you don't see any enemies or anything else. And he says, "I can't keep this up for long," and he points to the group.
Yeah, I will extend my hand to shake his hand before I walk through it. Thanks for helping us,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, he'll shake your hand back. He said, "Absolutely."
I look forward to
Um,
talking with you soon.
Does
Yep.
Sia have
The intelligence of the group, by the way. Give me your guys' intelligence things again. Umbra,
20.
what's your intelligence? You have a 20. That's what I
Yes, I
thought.
do.
What about you, Erasmus?
I have a 19.
Okay, so you guys are both very intelligent. Does anyone else have higher than an 18?
Nope.
I have 8.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so you guys go. We'll step through, and then I'll have you guys do intelligence checks after this. All right, so everyone will go ahead and step through. Is that correct? Is that right?
I'm
Does
going.
Sia have
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Does
Okay.
Sia have any reason to be worried that he's about to pull a Luxise or something on us?
No,
Conversation.
not no, not necessarily. The one thing I will say about Arcane Gate, and the only person that could understand this is Erastus, and since Erastus is already falling in blindly, he will have already done this. But as you get out on the other side, the only thing that sucks about Arcane Gate or portals in general is that when people control them, if he had wanted to and he did not, you can always try to, as a reaction, close the portal on someone. Theoretically, that means you can actually like try to decapitate creatures and cut them in half and all these other things. It's very, very difficult to master and do that, and it's not a guarantee or whatever. He could have done that theoretically, but he did not. And Erasmus, since he was going through it, already did this. Erasmus, you're the only one that can tell them afterwards if they ask you if that was dangerous or not. That's all he could have done, though. He could have literally tried to close the portal as you're walking through it to
That's why I
basically
tried to
cut you.
humanize myself to him before.
Yep. Yep. But right. So anyway, so that's it though. And then let me show you where you're going.
Takes a steely-eyed motherfucker to decapitate someone who just shook your hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he's throwing us into somewhere where he knows we're gonna stand out like sore thumbs and be very unwelcome. So
Yeah.
kind of the
probably.
same thing.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Just let me know if you have any spare spell books that come up. And okay, thank you. Bye.
Wrong one.
I don't
Sorry,
even look
guys.
at him. I just go through it.
Yep. Oh god damn it! Where the hell?
I should have asked him if he had paper and ink.
He would not have given it to you.
I'll buy
You
it.
never know. You
I
never
just need-
know. You never know. Yeah, but that was probably a more reasonable request though than spell scrolls. But yeah, you never know.
Damn it.
Uh, which one did I repurpose? Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry, I forgot that I renamed this. So hold on 1 second. Here. This is Nith. We're gonna start here. We're gonna start everything next session, guys. But I want you to see it. Hold on 1 second. You can see it on my screen now, but let me summon everyone too, because I want to describe it so we can start here next session. I promise. I know it's been hard when we're like exploring mode, where there's like not a ton of combat depending on what you guys do. This next session will have some decent amounts of combat in it, I'm sure. But let's see. Let's see here.
We don't need decent combat. We want like stupid easy combat.
Well, you'll see. This one's gonna be fun if you don't want stupid easy combat. So we'll see. Um, uh, it's not on my screen, but let me see. Hold on. Let me
I'm still hanging out in the Owl Well.
there you go. Oh, in the Discord? Oh, weird. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
real. Oh, they probably were moving a little bit because I had my mouse over them. Like this, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the build mode. Yeah. So this is what you guys see. So you do walk into what looks like a battlefield, unfortunately. So you walk into
I'm still watching the
Yeah,
stream too.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting on GM.
oh weird. Hold on. Maybe it's because there's here, let's see. Anything?
Oh, the music has stopped for me, so I think it's loading.
Let me try this.
It's probably new board code we need because this is a new like whole thing.
It
Is-
could be, yeah.
When we get onto the other side of through the gate, I'd inform everyone of what I found behind the hideout thing, and sort of show them the murky liquid.
Oh. Yep. Did that work?
Just have a fireplace.
To be honest, I closed out of Tillspire because we were ending, but I can just look on your map.
Okay. Well, so this is what you guys see right off the bat. You see what looks like a bunch of ruined buildings. You do see various demonic like large demonic entities going through, wreaking havoc on this side. You see a fortified what looks like town, where it looks like somebody set up a last stand on the other side of this thing here. And then what looks like fully enclosed buildings here as well. But this is like an all-out battlefield, and what you see, I mean, you see the telltale signs of just tons of demons, Maximilian.
Damn it, Theo.
So this whole town it looks like it's presumably overrun with demons, and you guys are on the dangerous side of it right now. But that's where you'll be coming in. Right when we get in, we'll roll for initiative and go from there. But there will be lots and lots of combat next
Oh,
session.
you got a smiling
Never
dwarf
mind,
on your
never
hands.
mind. The murky water can wait.
Is the arcane gate still open?
As soon as the last person walks through it, it's gonna close. So yeah.
Damn it.
But
Oh.
yeah, there will be. I imagine there will be more combat in the next session than you guys have had for this
Well,
entire group
Chris,
session. But
theoretically,
Oh my god.
theoretically,
Thank
when
you.
I came into this, I could have seen it in before everyone else came through. Turn around, and ran back.
yeah, no, theoretically you could have, but the thing
I
is,
did not. I did
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I also still can't see it. It says everything's offline.
That's super weird. Hold on, let me try this. Let me give you.
Oh,
Here,
I'm
try
watching on your
this.
Discord stream now. Sorry, I thought you meant Twitch stream.
Oh, right. But here,
I see.
try this anyway. Try that code and see if it lets you in.
I'm actually keen to see how well my
All right, I'm
Yeah,
letting you know. I think
everyone's going to now like I know we've had some tough combats before, but this one will be like I said. There's just going to be lots and lots of combat. Remember, obviously, death is permanent now. All that fun stuff.
Mhm.
Just keep all that in mind. But the good news is that if you like combat, the next session's going to be have a decent amount of it. Yeah, yeah, I know. Poor Abel. I know. Yeah. It, the well, no. So here's the thing. It's actually it has nothing to do with that though. Here's the one thing I should mention this because I already had to talk to someone about this as well. The game is 100% not balanced like any of the D&D modules until you get into like a actual hook, and that's by design. It's literally you. I will not force combat on you. It's all like out in the world as it's supposed to be as it happens. Now, to some people, that fucking sucks, and that's awful because it's not hitting beats and whatever, which is totally valid and fine, by the way. If I mean, if that's what you're here playing for, like, if you wanted to artificially have like all the beats to make the sessions fun, this will never be like that. That's why this session will have tons of combat, and you guys won't hit combat for 3 or 4 sessions, depending on what you do, because it really is all about what you do. Now, of course, when you get into modules because they need to sell them and because like that's what Wizard of the Coast does, it actually does artificially make sure that you have those combat beats, and there's a whole formula behind it. It's essentially like a it's like 78% role play, and then they always put in the last part as like combat with some investigation. That is not the way the campaign works at all. It is literally all about what you do and has nothing to do with artificially putting in encounters. So if you guys decide you don't ever want to go into combat, we're never going to force I'm never going to force it on you. I'm also never going to put surprise encounters or like all that other stuff. So it really has everything to do with where you go and what you do. As a side note, the reason I'm saying this is because I just had to talk about this to Lee and everything else. So that said, that's not for everybody, and if that fucking sucks for you, then that is how the campaign's going to work. So it's just a heads up. But anyway, so but yeah. So
Yeah, sounds
anyway,
good.
there will be combat galore in this session because you literally came into a town that's invaded by demons currently. So.
Did we teleport into like a permanent teleportation circle that's like inscribed on the floor somewhere?
No. No,
Okay.
no, he actually sets up these beacons for Arcane Gate, which he has a beacon in Nith for whatever reason. But it's there. And when you guys come in, you're gonna be in this corner over here. I'll show you, actually. You're gonna come in right here.
Oh, so kind of out of the way. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, there are things all around. Like I haven't placed everything on here yet. There's tons of things in here. But yeah, so you will be a little bit out of the way, and you can always run. You don't have to, you can do whatever you want. It's like real life in this game. So you don't have to stay here. You can get here and be like, fuck this place and never come back. So
But if Theo's brother's here, then he's in
yeah.
trouble.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
Sio's brother part of the raiding party?
Yeah.
Like which side
Which
is he
side are
on?
we on? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
we the baddies?
Yeah. But like I said, the thing that's most like important is that if it's a module that I wrote, um, it will be similar to like for instance like Rime of the Frost Maiden. But if you're out in the open world, just keep that in mind. If you want combat, you really have to go through and like do that stuff. Like you have to like it'll never be artificial like it's supposed to be in almost every module. So just keep all that stuff in mind because we literally just had someone kind of leave. That they're coming back, but they kind of are leaving now because they just didn't get into enough combat and because they, it is. But it is what it is. The game won't be changing for that. So
Yep.
yeah,
No, I like combat quite a bit, but I also I'm also sort of I'm a 50-50 between combat and roleplay.
And by the way, there is so much combat written in that if you guys actually wanted to say fuck the role playing and just do that, it's there. It is very much there. There are all kinds of things. It's just that so far in most of the groups that we have too, people are being pretty reasonable and are not running headfirst into combat because their characters wouldn't always want to try to, be in life-threatening or dangerous situations. That said though, there's absolutely like, if you guys wanted to, there is all kinds of combat, and you'll see. This is just one example of where there's a shit ton of combat. If you really, really want to put yourself in dangerous situations, I would suggest doing things like seeking out going to like Undermountain, stuff like that, because that's all in the game. So, but yeah, like head to the
Yeah.
Yawning Portal. I mean, honestly, go to Avernus. There's a ton of combat there too. So it just depends. But yeah.
Could we hit level 9 if we survive?
But that's the other interesting thing is that things like this do count. You'll see. I don't want to spoil things, but yeah, significant combats will obviously be milestones.
Okay. Because
Absolutely.
I know you had said up till 10. The leveling mechanic isn't exactly as intended, like
Yep.
one module per level, but
Yep.
if
Yeah,
the
yeah,
10
yeah.
is
These
small-
kind of things like significant combats can still count as milestones until 10. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Hmm.
I kind of want to run. Like we can fight them, sure, but like I kind of want to run towards
Where's
the
your
gate.
brothers
Yeah,
go?
it's up to you guys.
That's your brothers, yeah. Gidder's just gonna
Yeah.
ditch him?
Well, the thing is, he's being hid
Yeah,
under
really? Yeah.
We
Gretna's
can't.
front door.
Here's the other thing as well. I will say this: combat is also not useless. Like that's the other thing to keep in
Oh
mind
yeah.
as well. Just like in module, like it's like killing things, just like in the real world, definitely it has results and definitely does stuff. So I mean, don't worry about that either. There's lots of stuff to do if you like, for instance, if you wipe out a town invaded by demons, that's going to open up a plethora of other hooks. So
So
Yeah, let
in
the town
preparation
just
for
fall
this,
to the deep. Fine, it's fine.
or do that too. Yeah, do that too.
in
Yeah,
preparation
right?
for
That
this
sounds
fight,
like
we're level
something
9,
the
right?
god of justice would want his cleric to do.
We're level 9, right? In preparation for this fight.
No.
Damn
no.
it.
But like CEO was saying, like if you, for instance, if you guys win, if you guys do well in this kind of encounter, which you'll see, it's pretty intense. That could be a milestone. So yeah.
Depending on how bad it
Just-
is, I'm willing to fight, but I'm also willing to run.
Just saying,
You can
Max's
hide
crowd
in a
control
bush somewhere, it's
potential is
fine.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we could use some serious strategy with the buildings and all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's make sure we have Macmore next week.
Or
Yeah.
here, someone.
Or
Some
both.
list-
Yeah, I'm gonna
The
have
more
to
the
talk
Fighter
to,
would
We
be
need
good.
everyone. We
I'm
need
gonna have to
everyone.
talk. I'm gonna have to talk to Pyravin too. Because he did message me before. I actually he did message me while we were going through. I guess he had an emergency. I'll still have to talk to him, but